Drive. I'm Paiswell Forbes. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
Hello and welcome everyone. It's Tuesday, May 13th, and you're tuned into the ultimate destination for all things lifestyle, entertainment, and everything in between. I'm Jiminita Swain, and you're watching What's Trending, the show where we bring you the latest trends, hottest news, and insider tips on living your best life. Whether you're here for fashion, food, fitness, or the latest buzz from social media, we've got you covered. Let's dive in. The courtroom drama intensifies as the federal sex trafficking trial of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs enters its second day in New York. Yesterday, opening statements set the stage with prosecutors alleging Combs operated a criminal enterprise involving coercion and abuse. The first witnesses took the stand, including former associates, detailing the alleged exploitation and control tactics. The defense counters, denying all charges and questioning the credibility of the testimony. Stay tuned for the updates as the high-profile case unfolds. Well, this next story is one we probably didn't see coming. The United Nations International Civil Aviation Organization has officially ruled that Russia was responsible for the downing of Malaysia Airlines flight MH17 in 2014, which tragically killed all 298 people on board. The flight was struck by a Russian-made Buk missile while en route from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur over eastern Ukraine. The ruling concludes that Russia violated international aviation law by using weapons against a civilian aircraft. This decision marks a significant moment in international accountability, though Russia has denied involvement and dismissed the ruling as biased. And today, we're shaking things up literally because it's World Cocktail Day. This day celebrates the art of mixology and the cocktail's role in history. It all dates back to 1806 when a New York newspaper first defined the term cocktail as a perfect blend of spirits, bitters, and sugar that quickly became a global favorite. So how should you celebrate? Simple. Grab your favorite spirit, throw in some ice, shake it up, stir it, or blend it, whatever suits your style. Well, we're keeping it connected, creamy, and calorie conscious. First, BTC drops in with details of an exclusive customer appreciation event you don't want to miss. Then we head to Liquorland to sip through the smoothest cream-based liqueurs worth adding to your bar cart. And if you're wondering how to burn it all off, don't worry, our fitness segment has the moves to keep you feeling strong and unstoppable. Stay tuned, you're watching What's Trending.
Get the glow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know.
Could help gardens thrive. That's what J.S. Johnson employees discovered during a hands-on workshop hosted by the Agricultural Development Organization at the St. James Road Community Farm.
And this bacteria helps the garden. It helps our plants by being able to provide the process that turns all of our nutrients into a more soluble uptake for them.
Partnering with J.S. Johnson, ADO taught participants to use lactic acid bacteria made from kitchen scraps to create powerful natural fertilizer for backyard gardens.
Every day, right, you know, in the Bahamas, we cook, right? We cook rice. Rice goes with almost everything, right? So on a Sunday, if you're cooking up a nice pot, right, you save that rice water, you ferment that rice water, and then you use 1 gallon of milk and you make your bacteria.
Employees learned practical steps to start their own gardens, even in small spaces.
So we want to be able to open our mason jar. The trick is that we do not want to use chlorinated water that we get from the city. We want to use really good water, purified water. Let's put the rice inside there, and we just want to add the water. Just mix it up, and you're going to see something. You're going to see how it went from clear to now it's going to start getting cloudy.
The workshop is part of ADO's push to promote sustainable farming and empower Bahamian communities through agricultural education.
We have a community farm in 6 constituencies already, 1 in Rollville, Exoma, 1 here, and then 4 throughout Nassau. So 5 in Nassau, 1 in Exoma, in Rollville. The idea is to have 1 in every constituency, so we need to do another 33. And those goals we hope to achieve within the next 2 years.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
BTC is turning up the dial on connectivity and customer appreciation, from faster, clearer calls with their brand new Volt LTE SIM cards to a special celebration just for loyal customers on May 17th. The telecom giant is showing love where it counts. In studio with us today is Stacey Mackey, BTC's marketing manager, here to break down how you can upgrade your SIM, score big on service, and maybe even get an invite to the party of the month. Welcome back to What's Trending, Stacey. We love having you here in studio with us.
Thank you, Jimanita, for having me.
It's definitely always a pleasure. So, Stacey, let's start with the big news. BTC is offering free Volt TE SIM cards. Tell us what that means for customers, and for those who may not be tech savvy, what is Volt LTE and why is it important?
Well, VoLTE is a technology that allows you to have crystal clear calling, as well as being able to connect faster to the internet, particularly when you travel. So we are offering an upgrade for persons. If you have not changed your SIM card in the last 2 years or longer, you need to get that upgraded. So a lot of persons, you will notice on your phone, it'll say 2G, 3G, so it needs to say VoLTE at the top. We don't want you to go away. You know, persons are going to be traveling for the summer, and then you're not able to connect to roaming. So we want you to come on in at any of our BTC locations, and it doesn't matter, it's actually nationwide. We want to get you upgraded, and the beauty of it, it's free.
But I think there's also a new voicemail platform that you wanted to tell us about as well.
Yes. So our existing platform, we should say, that's kaput. So we are now upgrading to a new platform, and as of May 16th, we need everybody will be on the new platform May 16th. So I got to stress that. So what that would mean is that if you have existing or previous saved voicemails, all of those will be gone. Sadly, they will be gone. But of course, you will get a better performance with the new platform.
Now let's talk about something exciting. I know that you have a special event coming up for your loyal customers on May 17th. What is it all about? Talk to us about it.
So of course, we like to say loyalty deserves a celebration, and on Saturday we are celebrating big time for our loyal customers, loyal BTC customers. So if you're not a BTC customer, this segment is not for you. But we have lots of great things that's going on. We start at 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. We'll be at the Mall at Marathon in the parking lot right across from IHOP.
But what inspired BTC to host this event, and what makes it different from your usual promotion?
We want to always show our appreciation, because I like to say you can't put a price on loyalty, because you could have gone somewhere else and you didn't. And so we appreciate that. So we like to, every month we've been having different events. We've done Coral Harbor, we have done Chippenham, and so this one is really for the residents in the area of Marathon, Angliston, Robinson Road, those surrounding areas. But I'll tell you this, you don't have to live in those areas to come out. And I'll also tell you this as well, starting this week, if you went into the Mall at Marathon and you did any transaction, we would have given you a voucher. And that voucher is for a free Fusion movie ticket that you can redeem at the event on Saturday.
That sounds good. Now, you know I was getting to the things. Are there going to be any giveaways at this event? You talk about the games,
besides the free
mobile
food,
gaming, you talk about the free food. What else I getting? Because Bahamians like things.
Yes. So, we don't do an event without things. Let's stress that part. So I'll tell you that you are definitely going to have a fun time. There's lots of giveaways, lots of things that you can walk away with, lots of prizes and surprises. Also on the weekend, every weekend this month, we're doing a flash sale. So if you've been looking for a new device, we have devices as low as $169. And if you're porting in, you can even go much lower than that at $99.
Any final message you would like to share with the BTC users who are thinking about upgrading or attending?
Listen, you do not want to miss this event. Jimonito, this is not an event to be missed. And I'll also tell you this too, there's always some special and promotions that are going on. And right now as well, if you are a BTC Fiber customer, you can sign up for postpaid at just $64.99 and you get $10 off your bill every month. In addition to that, it's not an enter to win, but automatically, once you pay your first bill, you get a $200 Bahamas Air voucher.
But it definitely sounds great for the weekend. I hope people go out and do what they need to do. So from free Volt TE SIM upgrades to exclusive events for loyal customers, BTC is proving that great service goes beyond the screen. Definitely a big thank you to you, Stacey, for joining us today and giving us the inside scoop.
As always.
So we're stepping inside Liquorland to find out what's trending, what's smooth, and what you should be sipping next. There's more after the break.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exoma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Diet-friendly special.
Hi, Phil Swift here for the Flex Seal family of flood protection products. Our flood protection products are specifically designed to work together in order to create multiple layers of super strong protection. All these windows, doors, seams, and openings have all been sealed up tight. Now there's a new way to protect your home or business from damaging floodwaters. Get the removable Flex Seal family of flood protection products.
From backyard barbecues to weekend beach parties, the right bottle can make all the difference, and nobody knows that better than the team at Liquorland.
That's what I'm talking about.
Today, we're stepping inside the local favorite to find out what's flying off the shelves, which brands are making waves, and what you should be sipping next. Cream-based liqueurs are having a moment, whether you're pouring them over ice, mixing them into cocktails, or drizzling them on dessert. From classic Irish cream to Caribbean-inspired rum blends, these velvety spirits are becoming a must-have on every bar cart. Today, Dwayne Sands from Liquorland is here to give us the scoop on what's creamy dreamy, and flying off the shelves. Welcome back to What's Trending, Dwayne.
Thank you for having me once again.
We're going to start with the Bailey's cake. So imagine having your cake and drinking it too.
Exactly.
So let's try it, but tell us a little bit about what makes this particular one different from the original one.
Well, with this one, I recommend it more for like parties. You can imagine having your cake and actually drinking it too.
Yes, I can. We're going to try that right now. There's no cake, but it's the cake in the bottle. That's good.
Okay.
So Bailey's birthday cake. It does taste like a birthday cake. It feels like sprinkles and icing and a nice cake in your mouth.
And you could also put it over some ice cream, you know.
That's good. Well, I could go in coffee too, but we can head on over. So do Bahamian customers have favorites? Like, do they favor the Baileys over the Bottega or other cream liqueurs or something different and local?
Well, it all depends because I'd say half of the customers prefer the Bottega because it's new. You don't really see it in most liquor stores.
Like new things.
Yes. And then, you know,
so let's sample this Bottega. I think you have a number of flavors here, but I'm going to go with the cappuccino. Let's see how the cappuccino. And what can I put this Bottega in? Or what can I have it with?
You don't even have to mix this with anything. You could just have this over a cup of ice and relax.
This is definitely perfect for myself, like the coffee lovers. This cappuccino will definitely do it. So we have another definite sample here. Let's talk about this Baja Rose Cream Tequila, which is reportedly made entirely of imported agave and has a rich strawberry flavor. So from the strawberry flavoring, it sounds interesting indeed.
Okay.
So let's try this one. And then you'll talk to us a little bit about how most people enjoy these cream liqueurs.
Okay, so here we have the Baja Rosa. I would like to call this the dupe of Tequila Rose. It has the same strawberry flavor with a hint of tequila.
All right. They say a hint, guys. All right, that's good. This is good too. I wasn't sure what to expect. I mean, I know you know that, or you mentioned what people like, the dupe, but this is great. It's just nice and smooth, and I do taste the strawberry in it. So it's a nice combination, and it's smooth. It's not overpowering. So what's a cream liqueur you personally recommend that people may not know about, but they definitely should try?
Okay, well, throughout the numbers of cream-based liqueurs we do have, I would definitely recommend the Baileys. The Baileys is one of my favorites.
I think this is my #2 favorite. I like the regular Baileys, but this is definitely #2. And something you told me earlier, interesting about the Bottega, you have drinks for the vegans,
yes,
vegan shoppers.
So for all my vegan folks, we have here a pistachio vegan alcohol. We also have the ginger.
So that's different, and that's nice. So you definitely have something for
everyone.
Everyone. That's a great combination. So you want to remind persons where you're located again, so people can find you and get their hands on any one of these cream-based liqueurs or anything that you have to offer there.
Okay. We're located Madera and Patton Street, Palmdale. We're next to Acropolis and opposite Modernistic. We're open from Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And also there is your rewards program. So tell people, because that's important. Tell them about that too.
Okay, so with every purchase of $50 or more, we give you a loyalty card. We would punch that loyalty card, and as you keep spending $50 or more, you would then get 10%, 25% off.
Oh, that sounds good, Dwayne. You can't beat that. All right. From classics to new cravings, Liquorland's got your pour. Thank you again for coming in studio with us, Dwayne. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
While the sweat trend is heating up, stick around to find out.
If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Hey, Dizzy. Hey, honey. You got no message for me yet? Can I tell you why I get no money? At least not yet. I get my money. Managers. Oh, and I done upload it.
Hello, Miss Daisy. Your check is ready.
Thanks. I come for that little thing. You got it?
Money managers, responsible lenders for responsible people.
Diet-friendly special.
We've all had that moment, starting out a workout routine with the best intentions, only to fall off after a few weeks. The real challenge isn't starting, it's sticking with it. So, how do you build a fitness routine that fits your life and lasts long term? We're talking about routines that are realistic, manageable, and actually enjoyable. Time to talk sustainability with a side of sweat. And joining us on What's Trending today to do just that is Theodore Pyfrom. Welcome back to the show, Theo.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
Awesome to have you with us. So tell us, what does a sustainable workout routine actually mean, and how is it different from just working out hard for a few weeks?
Well, sustainable is something you definitely would consider something that fits your lifestyle. You know, all of us live different lifestyles, from people that work on the plane, people that work the night shift, security jobs, desk jobs. It's so many different options. I feel like everybody's journey is different.
And I would imagine that also means ensuring that you want the person to continue their workouts. Because like we say, why we have a lot of people that they start and they get burnout, or they just give up on their routines, and how can they change that to ensure that that doesn't happen, that they stick with whatever routine they started out with?
Well, another good key would be to invite a friend or family member to be there as an accountability partner, or, you know, some sort of support, because leaving it up to ourselves, you know, we're not just the best controllers of our bodies sometimes.
That makes sense. We're not all as disciplined. And, you know, obviously when we have you here, we do a little bit of talking and a little bit of working out as well. So what are you gonna have me doing today? Obviously, again, we like to keep in mind those persons that are just starting out, new to the gym, kind of warming up and wanted to know where to start.
Yes.
So
well,
for us today.
We've got some light dumbbells here today.
Okay.
For some upper body.
Okay.
A lot of people are concerned about shoulders and biceps, and hey, we want it to look good, right?
I want my guns look like that, but for dudes, yes.
But yes, I have a lot of female clients, and they're worried about the triceps
chicken,
and
chicken wings or
the lunch ladies.
Yeah. But them lunch ladies can cook, though. You know, if you see when you see that,
that's why we call them the lunch
tastes
ladies.
good.
Yes. So, I've got a nice triceps exercise for you that will help you get those lunch ladies under control.
Okay, so should I grab them?
I'll demonstrate first.
Okay.
We're gonna go for a hip hinge right in the pelvis. We're starting with the retracted scapula. Then we're gonna drive the elbows up, lock it into place. From there, you've got triceps kickbacks.
Okay.
Give it a try.
All right. So,
let's go. Remember, neutral spine.
Neutral spine, I'm going down.
Hip hinge, retract the scapula. So shoulders come up. Now elbows come up. Bend and extend. Right there.
So typically, how many of these should we do starting out like 10 is good?
Well, if the weight is manageable, you can go up to 20 and 30 once you can maintain the proper form.
So we got one tricep exercise out of the way. What's next?
Let's counter that with the biceps. That's the opposing muscle group. We'll start with palms facing up. Again, shoulders, ears, and abs on. Now curl up, find a contraction, control it all the way down. You want a full extension and squeeze at the top.
And again, this is one of these things where you have to think about form.
Yes.
And like you say, if you're good with the weight size, you could either stick with it and just do more or get heavy and do less.
Yes, well, don't ego lift. You can tell when the weight is too heavy when you can't keep stable.
Right.
That's automatic.
And we see that often for persons in the gym. But so how do you balance rest and recovery with staying consistent?
Now you've done it. It's easy to get burnt out. You don't have to exercise 5 to 7 times a week. For me, I would say 3 times is the minimum. There's 7 days in a week. You have to get your rest. 5 to 6 hours is on the lower side, but realistically, you know, they say 8 hours is the best.
Right.
What about the people around you? You know, keep your health good so you could be a help, not a burden.
That makes sense. So where are we going to now?
Our next exercise is going to be a lateral raise. Lateral meaning side.
Okay.
That's to work your medial delt.
Okay.
So we'll focus on lifting through the elbows, keeping the palms tilted forward as if you're pouring a glass of water. Lift through the elbows, up, up, up. Find the contraction at the top. Now lay them slightly down before they relax, back up. Maintain resistance.
So I shouldn't go all the way down. Here is good, is what you're saying?
That's perfect.
All right. So is it okay to change your routines often, or does that throw off your progress?
I'll be completely transparent. I don't have a workout routine. If I get to go for a run, I'm running. If I get to strength training, I'm training. Whatever my body feels at the time being, that's what I'm doing. I've never been good with following a plan when it comes to workout, so I go by how I feel.
What's another one you want to give us?
Frontal raises.
Okay.
Right there to the front of the shoulders. You can go palms in, raise up, control as they fall. Same concept, not letting the shoulders relax at the bottom. Perfect. And then there's a different variation going palms up or down.
Oh. All right. Well, this has been great. Definitely some good advice you shared with us.
You're not sweating yet, though.
I'm sure you have plans for me to sweat, but there still is always great to have you here. And there is so much more after the break. Stay with us.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exoma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass that along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Did you know you could send a local bank transfer to a $1 wallet? It's the same as sending a transfer to an account at another local bank. Simply use the wallet's 12-digit top-up address as the account number, savings as the account type, Central Bank of the Bahamas as the bank, and $1 as the branch with branch code or transit number 12,000. Don't use urgent or priority delivery. Transfers to $1 wallets are processed through the Bahamas Automated Clearinghouse Network within 1 business day.
Summer in the Bahamas. The weather is hot, but not as hot as the ZNS summer packages. Get ads on ZNS TV or ZNS Radio Network or the TV community page, or a combination of all three. ZNS has got you covered with great prices, whatever package you choose. Book before June 7th and get the local Federation Championship Baseball bonus full of all kinds of extras free of charge. Contact your account executive or call ZNS Sales at 502-3800 today. Hot summer package rates valid until July 31st.
On Wednesday's show, we're hearing from more change makers on the ground, working to make every crosswalk, bike lane, and school route safe for all. Don't miss their powerful insights and local solutions. And that's how we wrap up another trending day. Thanks for hanging out with us here on What's Trending. Remember, the conversation never stops. Catch up with us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS. Share your thoughts and let us know what you think should be trending next. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. with more headlines, highlights, and heat. Until then, stay curious and most of all, stay connected.
Summer in the Bahamas. The weather is hot, but not as hot as the ZNS summer packages. Get ads on ZNS TV or ZNS Radio Network or the TV community page, or a combination of all three. ZNS has got you covered with great prices, whatever package you choose. Book before June 7th and get the local Federation Championship Baseball bonus full of all kinds of extras free of charge. Contact your account executive or call ZNS Sales at 502-3800 today. Hot summer package rates valid until July 31st.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. The general manager of Pelican Bay Resort weighs in on the upcoming heads of agreement signing for the Grand Lucayan redevelopment. Plus, another major investment in the pipeline for Grand Bahama with plans that could increase housing and boost the local economy. And police in Abaco on the hunt for a 26-year-old man.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, a major step toward Grand Bahama's long-awaited economic recovery could soon be underway as the government prepares to sign a heads of agreement for the redevelopment of the Grand Lucayan Resort. Tonight, the general manager of Pelican Bay Resort is weighing in, calling the move critical and expressing hope that the long-overdue redevelopment of the Grand Bahama International Airport will move forward in tandem, boosting both tourism and investor confidence.
It's the first step in getting Grand Lucayan back and reopened.
Nearly a decade after Hurricane Matthew crippled Grand Bahama's tourism lifeline, a potential turning point is finally in sight. Pelican Bay Managing Director Magnus Alnebeck views the imminent signing of the heads of agreement for the Grand Lucayan Resort as a critical step forward.
There is going to be work and rebranding and repositioning and renovations, and then eventually there will be an opening, and that will be the big nice day.
In its heyday, Grand Bahama boasted nearly 5,000 hotel rooms, a number that has since plummeted. Alnebeck emphasizes that while the resort's revival is a major development, the island needs more volume. That is why he sees the property's redevelopment as a pivotal move toward restoring Grand Bahama's hospitality sector.
Those people want to have a destination that is alive with restaurants and plenty of stores and things that are happening. So, you know, we are probably the biggest supporters of getting Grand Lucayan open. It is likely to be 60 or 70% of all the rooms that we have that hopefully will get open pretty soon. And that will, of course, attract airlift, and hopefully we'll get the airfares down, and you know, there's a whole effect of something like that.
Addressing another crucial piece of the puzzle, he says he's optimistic that the redevelopment of the Grand Bahama International Airport will move forward in tandem with the resort project, further positioning the island for sustained economic growth.
I would be highly surprised if that's not part of the heads of agreement. I'm sure that the new owners of such a hotel will have worked that out with government.
Meanwhile, reports continue to circulate about the identity of the investor behind the Grand Lucayan deal. While the government has remained tight-lipped on the details, the Pelican Bay manager says a mixed resort model would be a smart and strategic approach to attracting a broad range of visitors.
You might have some property that is focused on family tourism, maybe some property that is focused on younger couples. What that combination is going to be and how that is going to be positioned, that I leave to the owners.
And as major projects continue to unfold across the island, one Grand Bahama pastor says the signs of resurgence are no surprise to him. He's reflecting on prophecies he believes were divinely given, visions that in light of recent developments now appear to be coming to pass. Shalia Roll reports.
For decades, Pastor Frank Hagan has spoken prophetically about the future of Grand Bahama. Now, with billions of dollars in investments taking shape across the island, some believe his words are beginning to come to pass, particularly in the area of economic development and foreign investment. Several of the things he prophesied years ago are seemingly unfolding.
Oh, we're going to have a new airport. Freeport International is going to be transferred to other owners, if you would. And we're going to rival Linden Pendon in Nassau.
Among those prophecies were predictions of a tourism revival, including an uptick in cruise ship arrivals. The island has since attracted major developments like Carnival Cruise Line Celebration Key, upcoming projects from Royal Caribbean, and the long-awaited heads of agreement signing for the redevelopment of the Grand Lucayan Resort. Pastor Hagan says he is simply grateful to witness what he believes are God promises now coming to pass.
Wondering, why I was given all this, and all of this came about because I remember the first dream I had. All 7 of the island and Keys was shown to me in a dream, and God singled Grand Bahama as being the most important island. It was very special to him. And I said, Grand was very special. He said, well, why we lost Popeye Chicken, McDonald's, Papa John, and Dunkin' Donuts? What happened? Why is Grand Bahama in this? And so God said, you're going to see.
And for those who believe that the progress is happening slowly, Hagan says that everything happens in God's time.
And I would say to all of the viewers and all of the doubting Thomases, if you would, I won't believe until I see it. Well, some of them are going to see it, and then the just shall live by faith and not by sight, So we have got to understand that God is doing these incredible things.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Rule.
Thanks, Shalia. Meantime, another multi-million-dollar development could soon take shape on Grand Bahama. This one promising job creation and a much-needed boost to the local economy. The founder of Exquisite Yachts has revealed plans to acquire property adjacent to their existing marina to develop a $40 million condominium project called Exquisite Residences. Remiko Knowles has the details in this report.
Yes, we're in the process of purchasing the property next door, which was an eyesore for decades here, and we have great plans.
It's a $40 million investment project at the dilapidated Tyne Bay property that Exquisite Yachts founder Tamaz Hammer says will feature high-end condominiums, part of the proposed Exquisite Residences development.
The plans we have right now, preliminary, let's call it that way, is a gated community with the high-end luxury condos. It's 70 condo units with docks around it and a passage like a walkway down to the beach directly. And we're planning to market a lot of these to our current boat owners and their families and our friends and clientele.
Hammer adds that there is strong interest from European investors, many of whom are eyeing Grand Bahama as a prime location for residency through investment.
So these apartments that we're planning to sell might be also bringing in further investment money to the island from abroad, which I think is everybody's interest on this island. So that's the project what we're working on. It's not going to be fast, okay? We're also looking for some partners on this investment because it's larger scale than what we can do of our own.
The project is expected to generate a wave of economic activity, creating job opportunities for contractors, local construction crews, and suppliers.
But not just that. Once that we call it the Exquisite Residences will be open, it will be also additional full-time jobs. So we will be about up to 50 plus local full-time jobs.
With multiple major investments already in motion across Grand Bahama, industry insiders anticipate a growing demand for housing. Hammer says the units will be marketed to buyers worldwide, but with a commitment to making them accessible to Bahamians as well.
Definitely there will be a shortage of housing, and we would like to offer opportunities for that. So people could either buy or rent.
In other news tonight, the University of the Bahamas announcing the expanded appointment of Vice President Denise Barnes, who will now serve in a dual leadership capacity as part of the institution's strategic restructuring. According to a press release issued by the University of the Bahamas, effective May 1st, Ms. Barnes began serving as Vice President for UB North. In addition to her existing role as Vice President of Human Resources, she is set to officially take on the UB North post in a substantive capacity on July 1st, 2025. Based in Grand Bahama, Vice President Barnes, that is, will oversee both portfolios as part of the university's broader efforts to strengthen leadership, streamline operations, and promote sustainable growth. The press release notes that this dual appointment is expected to enhance institutional alignment, build stronger connections within the university community, and support a unified direction for UB North. In news from Abaco, officers at the Marsh Harbor Police Station are busy searching for Leonardo St. Hilaire, 26, in connection with shellbreaking on that northern island. St. Hilaire was born in New Providence, but his last known address was Cooperstown, Abaco. He stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, is of average build, weighs 140 pounds, has a dark brown complexion and dark brown eyes. He wears a high plaited hairstyle. If you spot him, approach with extreme caution and care, as he is considered armed and dangerous. Dial police emergency at 911, National Crime Prevention Office at 302-8430 or 1, or Crime Stoppers at 352-1919, 350-3106 or 9. Switching gears now, weather officials are warning Grand Bahama residents to prepare for severe weather conditions continuing through Wednesday. Chief Met Officer Siobhan Moxie Bonamy says this system is associated with a frontal boundary, while heavier convection and thunderstorms are to the east of Bimini toward the Berry Islands and headed to Abaco.
What we would have over Grand Bahama, we can expect some showers this afternoon as heating comes up. And we're also anticipating some more isolated showers tomorrow, and then conditions will be more dry come Thursday and into the weekend and most of next week. So in terms of the overall weather pattern around Grand Bahama, we will be gradually improving for the next day. But Abaco in particular, for the northern islands, will still be under some severe weather threat through tomorrow.
She says the weather pattern is standard for this time of year, but this year has been somewhat different because it is drier than normal.
May tend to be a bit of a wet month because we would be transitioning to our rainy season, which starts in June. But May even has been pretty dry, and obviously all the months prior to May has been dry. So, like I said, we do welcome this brief period of showers that we had, I would say, the last 12 to 24 hours. Unfortunately, like I said, the showers are going to wane for the next day or so, and then we will go back to a somewhat more drier pattern. But hopefully we would at least start to pivot to our normal afternoon thunderstorms, as we go closer to summer.
And still to come.
40th Annual Debutante Ball dubbed a success. We will have that story and sports highlights from the Bahamas tonight. The Northern Edition returns.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison.
Celebrate the incredible women in your life this Mother's Day. And don't forget the special offer from Connect Bahamas.
April 16th to May 16th, enjoy a fantastic 35% off store-wide. That's right, everything you need to show your love and appreciation is on sale. Whether it's a heartfelt gift for mom, a treat for yourself, or something special for that amazing woman in your life, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Visit any one of our stores today. Make this Mother's Day unforgettable with Connaught Bahamas.
Don't miss the first annual Home and Hardware Expo, Saturday, June 7th at Pelican Bay from 2 to 6 p.m. Enjoy free exhibits, giveaways, and expert demos, plus an $150 short-term rental session at 3. Call 352-6126 for more details.
It was once the heartbeat of Grand Bahamas tourism. Then came the storms, the silence, the setbacks. But now a new day is dawning, and with it the fulfillment of a long-awaited promise. This Thursday, May 15th at 2 p.m., the government of the Bahamas will sign a new heads of agreement for the redevelopment of the Grand Lucayan Resort. This historic moment signals renewed hope and opportunity for Grand Bahama. Join ZNS News for team coverage live from the Grand Lucayan Resort on Thursday at 1:30 p.m. This isn't just a signing, it's a turning point for Grand Bahama.
Your #1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. It was a night filled with elegance, grace, and celebration. The 40th annual Debutante Ball had all the glitz and glamour one could imagine. After 4 months of preparation, it was finally time for the debutantes on their escorts to showcase what they've learned. Our Shane Stubbs has that report.
With elegant gowns and sharp attire and the spirit of celebration, the 40th annual Debutante Ball lit up the Grand Lucayan Ballroom, honoring 40 decades of tradition. After 4 months of meticulous training, committee member Kanisha Mizik says that the cohort of Debs and escorts lived up to the tradition of the past while setting an example for the upcoming starlets.
They're speaking, their deportment, we've seen them grow over the past few months, and they've developed so well into the young ladies and men that you see here tonight.
The ball over the years have incorporated elegant choreography, including the waltz, which the Debs and escorts spent hours on hours rehearsing. Drawing inspiration from years past, choreographer Sterling Brown says working with the debutantes has become a burning passion of his.
Having a love for the debutante ball and having a love for dance and performance and, you know, anything with entertainment, that is why I just love to be a part of this organization. Tonight really shows their passion and their love for it, and I'm really proud of all of the work and effort that they've put into it.
But beyond the glitz and glamour displayed, the past 4 months has given the Debs and escorts an opportunity to make lifelong connections.
People who I think I was going to be talking to or get close to, I'm really glad that I got cool with them, you know, and just waiting for the awards because I got really kind of nervous for it.
I've learned some lifelong things that I can take with me wherever I go. I have also learned how to carry myself as a young lady.
And even learned some new things along the way.
Curtsy. It was very hard at first, but when I practiced it, I got better at it.
You're supposed to hold the fork upside down in your left hand while you're eating your food. I did not know that. All seriously, I learned how to be a gentleman.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Great story, Sheen. Well, seniors aged 16 and over will soon get the chance to put their spelling skills to the test as the Cat Island Development Association gears up to host its 10th annual Senior Spelling Bee. Chairperson Vernell Thurston says the event was created out of a desire to highlight the continued value of seniors in society.
It helps to keep seniors on their toes. And it doesn't matter what age you are, as long as you're doing something that challenges or stimulates the cognitive domain, it's a plus for us, it's a plus for you, and it's a plus for the whole community, because what it does is raises the whole level of the academics and stimulates the brain.
The 10th annual Senior Spelling Bee is set to take place at Freeport Bible Church this Wednesday at 10 a.m. Evie Cartwright, the 2023 champion, says she joined the competition after losing her husband, and it became a source of healing. First-time competitor Hilton Boleg admits he was hesitant at first, but after mastering the word list, he says he's now eager to take the stage.
I was confident with my words that I learned, and in my mind, I was like, if you don't put in nothing, you don't get out nothing. So I had a confident mind and knowing that I was going to be a winner.
I know it's a difference when you're up on the stage. There might be some stage fright because I'm not used to speaking in front of large audiences like that, but hopefully it'll kick in what I learned over the last few weeks and I'll be successful.
In other news, Reach Out Youth Organization embarking on a new initiative aimed at fostering young women in the community from ages 8 through 24. To mark the beginning of the new program, the In Touch Girls Mentoring Program Committee honored mother-daughter duos who played a vital role in the growth and development of Reach Out Youth Organization. Our Shalia Roll reports.
Reach Out Youth Organization is spreading their wings with the Girls Mentorship Program by the name of In Touch, aimed at assisting young girls from the ages of 8 to 24. To launch this event, the program hosted a mother-daughter tea party honoring mother-daughter duos who have assisted with the Reach Out organization throughout the years. President of In Touch, Katie Sade, sharing what the program is all about.
We want to nurture our young women, our girls from young straight into young adulthood. We will be dealing with girls from the age of 8 years old straight up to about 24. So we have persons, I have a team, I have a very vibrant team excited to hit the road running.
Honorees from this event sharing the excitement of being selected for the occasion.
It's really good. It's not often that people recognize that you do help when necessary. I mean, there's really no need because they tell me thank you all the time, you know, behind the scenes. So this one is a public one and it always feels good.
The Honorable Ginger Moxie, the Minister for Grand Bahama, also in attendance at the event, sharing the impact of the Reach Out Youth Organization has made throughout the years, adding that this girls' mentorship program will make a huge impact in our female youth.
It's a unique opportunity to invest in our young women, which in turn is an investment in stronger families, stronger communities, and a stronger nation. And yes, we've been doing for the boys, and now it's time for the girls. Our very own girls program that I'm sure she's going to get all of the support that she needs in order to impact as many lives as possible.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Roll.
And that's a look at stories making news. Jay, what's coming up in sports?
High school soccer playoffs. Me and Xavier Welchcombe had a pretty good time at the softball and the soccer field yesterday.
Oh, wow. I played soccer for like 2 weeks in high school once. But thanks, Jay. Sports is coming up your way next. But first, a check on your cool weather forecast.
The cast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Trying your luck doesn't always result in a win. In fact, it's easy to lose track of your spending when gambling regularly. Here are some ways you can gamble responsibly. Utilize financial planners to track your finances. These could be done digitally or on paper. Set a realistic budget and stick to it. And finally, monitor your winnings and losses weekly and monthly.
This message is brought to you by the Gaming Board for the Bahamas.
Have you ever dreamed of gifting a loved one their own piece of paradise? Now, with Debco's groundbreaking gift initiative, you can turn that very dream into reality. GIFT, which stands for Generational Investment, Friends and Family Trust, is a simple yet powerful way to make property ownership more accessible. Contribute to the 10% down payment in person or team up with friends and family to make it even easier. You can even pay online via direct bank transfer, then submit the required form with just a few taps. The person you gift then enters a manageable 7-year payment plan, or they can pay in full anytime. Imagine the joy of giving the gift of ownership, a piece of the Bahamas, a piece of paradise, right at your fingertips. Now, you can gift for a birthday, a wedding, graduation, Christmas, or simply just because. With Debco's Gift Initiative, you're not just giving a gift, you're gifting a bright future. Devco, where opportunities embrace and gift ownership. Visit gbdevco.com to learn more.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports Talk, and sports athletes and coaches from Grand Bahama continuing to shine in their various disciplines. Let's begin with high school soccer. Grand Bahama High School Soccer Championship game is now set in senior boys play, where the defending champions LIS will take on St. George's High for the title. LIS defeated Tabernacle in the first semifinal yesterday 3-0, while the Jaguars scored 7 goals to 1 for Sunland in the other semifinal match. Next in sports, Buddy Hield and the Golden State Warriors lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves 117-110 in Game 4 of the NBA Western Conference semifinals on their home court, trailing the best-of-7 series 3-1, now facing elimination. Hield finished the game with 13 points on 4 of 11 shooting from the field in 35 minutes. Game 5 of that series will be played in Minnesota on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. From the court to the track, the 4th annual Spring Fling track meet is scheduled for this weekend, Friday and Saturday, May 16th and 17th at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex.
We have our tech team coming in out of Nassau for that meet, and it's going to be posted on the World Athletics site, so you could get a qualifying time as well. We have several of the top career athletes coming in town from Nassau, and along with our own top athletes in Grand Bahama, so it's going to be an exciting event.
Ladies and gents, that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
This time I'm on a one-way.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm a survey enumerator with the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, or BNSI. For the next few months, we will be conducting the household expenditure survey on various islands.
You might be wondering, why is this survey important? Well, it helps us to determine the poverty line and assess how to ensure everyone has access to the basic services they need. This information is used by the government, businesses, researchers, and students to make informed decisions and plan for the future. We know that your time is valuable, which is why we've made the survey as simple and easy as possible. And don't worry, all your information you provide is confidential.
Your participation will help us gather accurate information that will benefit everyone in the Bahamas. Thank you for your cooperation and being a part of shaping the future of the Bahamas.
It was once the heartbeat of Grand Bahama's tourism. Then came the storms, the silence, the setbacks. But now a new day is dawning, and with it the fulfillment of a long-awaited promise. This Thursday, May 15th at 2 p.m., the government of the Bahamas will sign a new heads of agreement for the redevelopment of the Grand Lucayan Resort. This historic moment signals renewed hope and opportunity for Grand Bahama. Join ZNS News for team coverage live from the Grand Lucayan Resort on Thursday at 1:30 p.m. This isn't just a signing, it's a turning point for Grand Bahama.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Here's a live look at the Bahamas Tonight. They're coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, a career hotelier weighs in on the government's grand plan for Grand Bahama. Also, what's the holdup with the doctors ironing out outstanding issues and what the labor minister makes of it? And boots hitting the ground as health officials take to the streets to boost local vaccination numbers. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. This week's announcement that a heads of agreement will be signed for the redevelopment of Grand Bahama's Grand Lucayan Resort welcomed news for the island. A renaissance for its tourism and a new beginning for its residents. That's how Bahama Senior Executive Robert Sands sees it. Mr. Sands says this development is positive all around.
It is so important that this particular project gets off the ground, started, and that we put people to work and we begin to attract persons back to Grand Bahama Island. For years, that was the second destination. And for multiple reasons, it's fallen off. I only wish them the greatest success in making this happen in the shortest period of time so that we can get that ball rolling again. There is no downside to this hotel opening in Grand Bahama. It is only all positive.
Again, the government will sign that heads of agreement this Thursday at the resort. This will begin the restart of this once vibrant hotel property that has sat dormant in the last few years. Mr. Sands is applauding the parties for reaching this point, which he predicts will be a game changer.
And I wish the developer, I congratulate the government of the Bahamas for its tenacity in pursuing this, and to the people of Grand Bahama who will benefit from this opening by job creation, and the vendors that have been sitting idle for a long period of time. My prayer is that this is, like I say, a new beginning of great things to come for Grand Bahama.
Meantime, a Grand Bahama hotelier is giving the thumbs up also to what's planned for the Grand Lucayan Resort. Magnus Alnabak, general manager of the Pelican Bay Resort, believes the signing could signal brighter days for the island.
We are probably the biggest supporters of getting Grand Lucayan open. It is likely to be 60 or 70% of all the rooms that we have that hopefully will get open pretty soon. And that will, of course, attract airlift, and hopefully we'll get the airfares down. And you know, there's a whole effect of something like that.
The United States and China have entered a 3-month pause of their trade dispute, with both sides agreeing to significantly scale back on harsh tariffs imposed by both sides. Locally, this ongoing feud has created uncertainty for the wider economy, but perhaps most crucially for the country's top industry. Tonight, Corval Pyfrom has reaction to this cooling in tensions between the superpowers and its impact on the local sector.
The local tourism sector appears at the moment to have been unscathed from the worst impact of President Trump's tariffs that ultimately triggered a global trade war. But Bahamas Senior VP Robert Sands was not prepared to say that the Bahamas is out of the woods yet.
It is cause for some tentativeness in the marketplace.
And this is the concern that it is causing.
That tentativeness has caused for a slowdown in the booking pace of business.
After a stretch of years post the pandemic where visitor arrivals rebounded significantly, in some cases even outperforming pre-pandemic numbers, this economic uncertainty sparked by the recent tariffs is impacting decisions about travel.
We're not as robust as we were then. And we had envisioned 2025 and 2026 being banner years for the Bahamas, having grown on the momentum of post-COVID and also the successes we've had in 2023, 2024.
What the local tourism sector needs, Sands believes, in the short and medium term is for a resolution to this global dispute.
We are hopeful that there will be more compromise, which will have a positive impact on the aptitudes and attitudes of persons willing to travel, especially to the Bahamas.
But despite all the uncertainty, a very confident, optimistic-sounding Sands, who has spent more than 5 decades in the industry, says it's never wise to bet against the Bahamas' tourism product.
Tourism isn't about total visitors coming to the Bahamas. Tourism is about how much we can benefit economically from the type of tourists who come to the Bahamas, and that the Bahamas can retain a larger share of the foreign exchange earnings.
Corbell Pyfrom for the Bahamas Tonight.
Well, on a more positive note, another premier hotel property is calling Exuma home. Amankaya is a $260 million project that's bringing one of the world's most respected and luxury hospitality brands here to the Bahamas. It's expected to generate over 500 jobs, that's 200 during construction, and 300 permanent positions while supporting local entrepreneurs, expanding training opportunities, and driving long-term economic activity to Exuma. Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation and Member of Parliament for Exuma, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, touts the property's ultra-luxury lifestyle brand as a good fit for Exuma, and the government looks forward to the groundbreaking of this investment that will deliver meaningful, measurable, long-term impact. Well, on the other end of tourism, an American woman critically injured following a boating mishap here in the capital. Police tell us the victim allegedly entered the water while on a boat attempting to dock in the area of Bay Street just before 4 p.m. Monday. Unfortunately, in doing so, she sustained serious injuries to her lower body caused by the vessel's propeller. We understand crew members immediately retrieved the woman from the water, bringing her aboard the vessel, at which time efforts were made to control the bleeding until an ambulance arrived. At last report, the tourist was said to be in critical condition in hospital. Coming up, door-to-door campaign to boost immunization rates now into its second week. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
KFC is giving you more to love with our KFC Bucket Meal with large size. Get the KFC Family Bucket featuring 8 pieces of juicy chicken, family fries, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4. A KFC Deluxe Bucket with 10 pieces of delicious chicken, 2 larger sides, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4 to 6. Or a KFC Party Bucket with 15 pieces of our chicken, 3 larger sides, and 6 biscuits that feeds 6. And we'll handle the dishes, plates, and utensils included, so you can lick your fingers and reach. KFC knows value, and it's finger licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm a survey enumerator with the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, or BNSI. For the next few months, we will be conducting the household expenditure survey on various islands.
You might be wondering, why is this survey important? Well, it helps us to determine the poverty line and assess how to ensure everyone has access to the basic services they need. This information is used by the government, businesses, researchers, and students to make informed decisions and plan for the future. We know that your time is valuable, which is why we've made the survey as simple and easy as possible. And don't worry, all your information you provide is confidential.
Your participation will help us gather accurate information that will benefit everyone in the Bahamas. Thank you for your cooperation and being a part of shaping the future of the Bahamas.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
You're looking at a shot there of this Queen's Staircase, or the 66 Steps, as some call it, near Fort Finn Castle. The steps reportedly cut out of solid limestone rock by slaves between 1793 and 1794. It was later named in honor of Queen Victoria. That shot, as always, courtesy of our drone pilot, Neville Smith. Welcome back. Things are not moving as fast as Labor Minister, the Honorable Pio Glover Rowe, would like. Not when it comes to ending negotiations and sealing a deal between the Consultant Physician Staff Association, or CPSA, and the Public Hospitals Authority, the PHA. In fact, the minister making it clear in a release today that she's actually frustrated that despite being close to conclusion, only health insurance, time, and attendance are left to be hashed out. To date, there's still no resolution. All in all, Minister Glover Rowe believes this matter has gone on for far too long and that it's time all parties come together to finalize the agreement. She pledged to continue standing in the gap to ensure a timely and fair resolution to the outstanding matters. Well, Health and Wellness Minister, the Honorable Michael Darville, among a team of nurses and other health professionals turning out to the Coconut Grove Police Station and later door-to-door in Coconut Grove in a further push to increase childhood immunization rates in the face of increasing cases of measles in the Americas.
It's important that we be successful in our venture because around us, countries where we get tourists from, we're noticing the increases in measles. And so it's important for us now to find the defaulters, make sure that we immunize as many as we possibly can, and to ensure that we send a message to mothers as well as the Bahamian population, the importance of childhood immunizations, particularly MMR.
PAHO and World Health Organization representative Dr. Eldana Boisson has cautioned that should a case of measles enter the Bahamas, it poses a threat to the country's top industry.
A lot of people think measles is just a little rash and that's it. And maybe it is for some, but for some, you can have very serious complications and some even die. We've had 4 deaths in the region already. 3 in the U.S., 1 in Mexico, and we have further cases that have died that are under investigation to see if it's measles. In Canada, we've had a lot of kids being hospitalized. We don't want our kids to have to get there. So it really is important to do this for your kids now. Your parents probably did it for you. Almost all of us, I'm sure, if not all of us here, have had those measles vaccinations. We're here to tell the tale. They're perfectly safe. And it's the only way to protect, because while we can treat the symptoms of measles, there's no cure for measles.
Well, weeks after that massive blaze consumed AML Solomon's and Cartwright stores on Old Trail Road, the principal of a neighboring school sounding the alarm over a persistent odor that's believed to be emanating from the charred site. Our West Alex Forbes tells us more.
C.H. Reeves Junior High School, which sits just minutes away from the site, is one of the institutions that has publicly voiced its concern. We spoke to the principal. He describes the odor as a deeply unsettling one that disrupts the learning environment.
We reported concerning the odor that we've been experiencing for the last 2 weeks or so. The Ministry of Education would have sent out inspectors to determine where the odor would be emanating from. I would have received the word based on their findings that they are believing that it's coming from the burnt building across the highway that would have happened a few weeks ago. That's what have us really puzzled. As it relates to the fire, we don't know whether or not the cold cuts, the meats, the poultry, I'm not certain whether or not they're still there, whether the person's had an attitude to go in. I'm not sure whether or not that was the case.
Just down the road, R.M. Bailey Senior High School officials too acknowledged the issue and confirmed the presence of an odor to our news team. Still, though, the question remains, like, what is the source of the smell, and will more decisive action be taken to rectify it?
As it relates to school closure, we do have to wait on the executive decision by the Ministry of Education. Like I said, today seems to be pretty good. No one's complaining. But like we said, it's the wind. It depends on what's happening.
While school officials feel the odor's source stemmed from the adjacent burnt Solomon's and Cartwright store building, its owners, AML Food Limited, responded with a statement noting their delay on starting cleanup as they were waiting on insurance and local investigation to be completed. AML is also now in the process of obtaining the required government permits and approval for demolition and disposal. Back at C.H. Reeves, the principal is calling for transparency, support, and urgency. Until then, the air around Old Trail lingers heavily, not just with the odor, but with unanswered questions. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Alex Forbes.
Well, thanks, Wes. A memorial service bringing out mourners to remember the Right Honorable John Henry Bostwick, KC. Bostwick died on his 86th birthday back on May 3rd. The prominent attorney, political party leader, and nation builder is being remembered ahead of his official funeral later this week. Our Corval Pyfrom joins us from the site of this evening's service at the Christ the King, Anglican Church. Corval?
And Makushla, good evening. Just as you throw it to us, this memorial service for the life of John Henry Bostwick is just now getting underway. Originally, it was set to start at 6:30, but because of the rain, that caused a bit of a delay. This memorial service is special because it has been organized by the members of the Lunch Club. That's an organization that Mr. Bostwick belonged to for many years. And I'm joined by the chairman of the Lunch Bunch, Henry Dean. Mr. Dean, good evening. I know it's going to be kind of hard to hear me, but talk to us about why it was important for the Lunch Bunch to remember Mr. Bostwick with this memorial service tonight.
Thank you, sir. Well, we as members of the Lunch Bunch, whenever one of our members die, we have a memorial service to his honor. But on this occasion, it is rather special for us, for me, because when we reflect on the life of J. Henry Bostwick, it's a rich legacy. He has been a source of inspiration, awareness, educational support, and for me, I think he is one of those unsung heroes in our land. Though he has never ascended to the heights that he aspired, he has made wonderful contribution to our existence, and we want to celebrate that. We want to honor him on this occasion.
So many accomplishments. How do you think Mr. Bostwick will be remembered? What will be his defining legacy?
There's so many things about Mr. Bostwick. I'm told that he was a school teacher. I'm told that he was one of the best cricket players. done in his time, but politics. He did not make that mark. Okay?
Superb attorney, prominent politician, elder statesman. I mean, the list goes on. Just so many ways to remember John Henry Bostwick. Let's just get out of the way so my cameraman can pan a bit to show you what's happening here at tonight's service. As you all know, John Henry Bostwick passed away back on May 3rd on his birthday, actually, his 86th birthday. This is just one of many memorial services that are going to take place this week, leading up to his official funeral, which is set for this coming Friday, May 16th at 10 a.m. at Christ Church Cathedral. That is the very latest from where we are. We will send it back to you in studio. This is Corbell Pye from Back to You, Makashla.
Well, thanks, Corbell. Stay with us. There's more to come after the break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Full Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Alive Fiber basketball fans, get ready to experience the NBA Finals live. You can enter an all-expense-paid trip to not one, but 2 NBA Finals games. It's simple. Just sign up for our Alive NBA League Pass or Infinite Sports X package by May 16th. Stay connected, enjoy blazing fast internet, and score your chance to witness the NBA action up close. Don't miss out. Visit AliveFiber.com and take your shot at NBA glory. Terms and conditions apply. It's good to be alive.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is producing work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
The Small Business Development Center awarding certifications to 37 people with disabilities who've completed training. And what's better than that? Well, later this year, this group will be given grants toward furthering their businesses. SBDC Executive Director Samantha Roll says though the path involved more detail and a few differences, it was well worth it.
That was definitely a learning experience even for the SBDC, and we leaned heavily on the commission, the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, to inform us, the mentors who are of the community to inform us. And so we made several adjustments to ensure that we could cater to that community and their needs. Most importantly, it has a focus on a vulnerable group that for most times that are just often overlooked. And so we wanted to make sure that we provide the support to this community as we would provide support to any other group of entrepreneurs.
Owner of eco-friendly sustainable agricultural business Clean Air Farms, Portia McCoy, brags on having done multiple SBDC courses, adding that each time she took away something different. Meanwhile, though visually impaired, Ramon Cunningham remained undeterred and later launched Timeless Peaceful Mindsets and Verses, an online platform based on journaling and poetry. He has even written a book, Release the Shackles of the Former Enslaved Man, and wants readers to have this takeaway.
My business is a startup business, and the money that I got from Small Business Development Center, my intention is to pay for my LTD. That is outstanding. I have to set up my business account as well, and also to do my marketing with Thinkly. They're from the Small Business Development Center.
Anything is possible. And lastly, it's all about inclusion, because for the people who felt like they are not adding into society, I want them to know there's hope. There's hope for anyone.
Oh, well done to you all. LaDonna and Marlena join us live for a sneak peek of Access Now.
Well, Makushla, guess what? It's Taboo Tuesdays, and I think West Calix Forbes is going to tell us what that's all about. I think she's going to be talking about salaries, right?
Yes, I think we're going to be finding out about salaries tonight. I'm very excited for this series.
I'm excited, too.
Let's talk about it. I'm ready.
We're going to hear all about it when the National Report is back, and we'll hear from our sponsors right now.
Diet-friendly special.
Only one item? Are you tired of limited choices? I'll have the one item on the menu, thank you. Wow! So many choices. Why settle for less when you deserve more? When it comes to the ways you pay, the more, the better. With a variety of payment options available, you can enjoy the freedom to choose what works best for you. Choose freedom. Choose flexibility. Choose from the full menu of payment options. The future of pay is digital.
What you doing, Liz?
I'm getting ready for this heat, boy. But you want to see what's in this box? The ghost pepper chicken sandwich, boy. Get an apple pie, fries, and ghost pepper chicken wing. See it? You look at me? Four. Yeah, boy.
Try our new Ghost Pepper Chicken Box today. Available for a limited time only.
Love that chicken from Popeyes. And that there does it for the National Report. But stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
One's independence is determined by our ability to earn a living, which is why unemployment can dampen one's morale. The NIB Unemployment or UEB benefit allows for up to 13 weeks of income replacement, allowing some time for you to get back on your feet. Before applying for the UEB, you must have an Employer's Termination of Service layoff certificate, or Form B-80, which is completed by your employer, and the unemployment card, or B-81 form, given to you when you register with the Department of Labor. To claim UEB, one must complete the Form B-82, or Claim for Unemployment Benefit form. Fill in all sections of the form, providing personal details, information to determine your eligibility, recent employment history, banking details, providing your account number and not your debit card number. Sign the bottom of the form, declaring that the information given is true, and date the form. Before submitting documents, double-check that all fields are accurately completed. All forms must be submitted within 3 months from the date of unemployment. Incomplete forms, forms with incorrect information, or late forms may delay the processing of your benefit application or result in the forfeit of your benefit. For more information and to access all NIB forms, visit the NIB website at nib-bahamas.com.
keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. Cause if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. If it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
In a major move towards strengthening the country's agricultural sector, the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation has announced a new partnership with several large food entities in the Bahamas. This collaboration is aimed at connecting local farmers with bigger markets, ensuring more locally grown produce makes its way to grocery store shelves across the country.
So what you're seeing is basically this project working. We're shipping out some 390 sacks of onions, okay, to one single buyer. So this came about, with the minister's vision of commercializing agriculture, and now we're seeing the fruits of that labor.
The initiative comes as the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, alongside BAIC, met with top food store brands in the capital. BAIC Senior Manager for Agriculture Marketing, John Burrows, said this partnership is a game changer for local farmers.
What we treated this project like this season is we treated this like a commodities market. We looked at what the market pricing points were, and we priced back with the farmers, not using the customary price points of the packing houses. So in some instances, farmers made more money. Some instances, they made their baseline. And it was based on what the market trends was, in terms of pricing or is at the time.
Focusing on the Family Islands, BAIC Commercial Entities Manager Keno Archer highlighted that timely payment to farmers is a priority.
Right now, we are planning on making things a little easier for our farmers by trying to use a payment system and make it easier for those farmers to receive their payments on time. And they don't have to leave, go to the farming park, come to the main island to cash their checks.
BAIC General Manager Troy Sampson underscored the importance of efficient payment systems.
On some of the islands where these farmers are, those islands are unbanked. So we're talking with some of the financial services companies that perhaps, may have cash payment systems on some of these far-flung family islands to ensure that, a farmer doesn't have to, depending on how much he sold to us, have to fly to Nassau to cash the check. That may exhaust the full amount of his check. When you think about the flight and renting a car and maybe even having to stay overnight. So we're really working to be able to get efficiency of payment on the ground to the farmers so they can get their funds, work where they are, and be able to go on with their lives.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
It's time for tea. Set the march here to Alice. Yes, it's tea time at LW Young. Details are down the rabbit hole.
And our West Calix Forbes is ready to give you the sweetest taboos on Taboo Tuesday, so stay close for that.
Plus, parenting the boy child seminar turns out to be quite helpful.
And coming up in sports, organizers reveal details for upcoming Sam Haven High School Soccer Nationals.
Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Well, it's tea time, Marlena. We should have brought our fascinators to make well of this occasion.
It's definitely time for tea, but for one, I need to hear about this Taboo Tuesday thing first.
Definitely. But let's dive right into the news, shall we? British High Commissioner Thomas Hartley reflects on his favorite teacher in a heartwarming celebration of dedication and inspiration as LW Young Junior High School transformed its campus into a scene straight out of a Disney fairy tale for a special tea party in honor of Teacher Appreciation Week.
I heard the Prime Minister give a speech the other day about teachers, and he talked about teachers being the midwives for the soul of the nation. And I think that's such a beautiful expression to say how the work teachers do with all of our children, my children as well, and some of the schools here, are really kind of creating a nation of the future. But my favorite teacher is a guy called Mr. Turner, and he was my economics teacher when I was 15 all the way through to I was 18. And my school was a community school just like this, and we had never sent anyone to any of the top universities, Cambridge or Oxford. And that year, Mr. Turner, in my final year, sent 6 students to Cambridge and Oxford that year. He just inspired us completely.
We spoke with the school's guidance counselor, Antoinette Burrows, who shared the inspiration behind the thoughtful event. But when asked if she had a message for her fellow young staff, she didn't hesitate.
Well, following the Disney theme, we thought it would be
coal to bring out the inner child in all of the teachers, and that was the main reason for it. But then again, it's also nice to dress up in hats and wear gloves and celebrate just having tea. I want to say that this job is a ministry. We can never be paid for what we do, but we make a difference with every child that we interact with. So happy Teachers Appreciation Week.
As the week of celebrations continues, one thing is clear: LW Young's teachers are truly the magic behind the scenes, and this Disney-themed tea party was a reminder that every teacher, like every hero, deserves to feel celebrated.
So true, Ladon. Well, it's Tuesday, Taboo Tuesday to be exact, and we're about to lift the lid on the hush-hush, the uncomfortable, and the often avoided conversations that we all secretly wrestle with. Here's Wes with the taboo topic of the day: salaries.
This is Taboo Tuesdays, where we talk about the uncomfortable topic, challenge the status quo, and confront the quiet. I'm Wes Calix Forbes, and it's time to get uncomfortable.
This week, we're peeling back the layers on a subject that affects every working person: salaries. To explore this, I sat down with Gowan Bowe, CEO of Fidelity, a man who not only understands the numbers, but the people behind them. I asked him point blank, why do you think talking about salaries is such a taboo topic?
Water cooler is not taboo. We will be around the water cooler saying what someone else is earning and why we're not earning enough, and talking about it in a casual terms. But when we get down to what I'm going to call the nuts and bolts and saying, well, what is it that I believe my value and worth is? So what is it that I contribute? Not by pieces of paper and what I've done, but what is it that I actually do?
But why is salaries still a taboo topic?
We're not comparing apples with apples. We see our peers, we see our friends, and we hear that they're earning a particular amount, but we don't actually compare what they produce and what they contribute versus what we do. We simply look at we're in the same age group or we came in at the same time. We always say we're underpaid, but if we ask or we started speaking about what we actually delivered, we may consider ourselves overpaid, and so we're afraid to talk about that.
I press further. Does salary secrecy in the Bahamian workplace help employers take advantage of workers who do not know their worth? His response was candid: yes. And then he brought up something many don't dare to say out loud: insecure bosses.
So I think that you do find that that workplaces take advantage when you have leaders who are insecure and senior management who are insecure. Where you have senior management and leaders who are comfortable in terms of who and what they are happy to see those amongst them excel.
This has been Taboo Tuesdays. Let's keep breaking the silence together.
Thanks a lot, Wes. Well, several parents getting some tips on how to sharpen their parenting skills from life coach and counselor Minister Dr. Leonardo Todd during a parenting of the boy-child seminar at Temple Baptist Church last evening. It's just one of many positive activities hosted by the Division of Culture Affairs to highlight boys and young men around the country. Coordinator Pastor Henry Higgins talked about why mentoring our boys is crucial during these challenging times.
Well, as we know, the majority of our crimes in our nation is committed by boys and men, especially between the ages as early as 14, 15 years old. And so I think this is important because we want to make sure that our parents are equipped with the tools to turn their boys and give them positive alternatives away from crime.
And still to come, Judge Carroll is in the house and she is seeking justice. The gavel has been sounded, so keep it locked.
Sickness on the job is a possibility. During this time, the NIB Sickness Benefit works for you. Sickness benefit is for qualified insured persons unable to work as a result of a specified disease, physical or mental disablement. To claim, complete the Med 1 benefit form. Section A of the form is completed by a physician only, verifying one's inability to work, citing the ICD-9 code, a description of diagnosis, and indicating the period of incapacity not exceeding 13 weeks per Med 1 form. The physician signs and dates the form and affixes an official stamp. Forms completed by physicians in another country are required to submit the doctor's or institution's card. The claimant must complete all other sections of the form. Section C is only to be completed by industrial accident claimants. The Med 4 form or employer certificate must accompany the Med 1 form. All forms must be submitted within 3 months of the date of sickness. Late claims are subject to review by the Late Claims Committee. For more information, visit the NIB website at nib-bahamas.com.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, Shop Smart, that's Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Summer in the Bahamas. The weather is hot, but not as hot as the ZNS summer packages. Get ads on ZNS TV or ZNS Radio Network or the TV community page, or a combination of all three. ZNS has got you covered with great prices, whatever package you choose. Book before June 7th and get the local Federation Championship Baseball bonus full of all kinds of extras free of charge. Contact your account executive or call ZNS Sales at 502-3800 today. Hot summer package rates valid until July 31st.
You're looking at a shot of RBC Old Fort Bay. This spectacular shot comes to us courtesy of one-of-a-kind drone pilot Neville Big Nev Smith, who's out there flying high. As for us, let's take our own flight down to Exuma. Let's go.
First time in 20 years, the National Road Cycling Championships are coming to Exuma, where sport's popularity has grown in recent years. June 5th through the 8th are the dates the championship is set to be held. Organizers hope to attract the best and brightest in Bahamian cycling, all while creating a festival atmosphere for locals and tourists alike. Hundreds more are expected to attend and enjoy the festivities from across the Bahamas and beyond, providing a considerate boost to that island's economy. Marlena?
Thanks, LaDawn. Well, Justice with Judge Carroll is one of our very popular shows on the ZNS network. Tonight, Judge Carroll joins us to talk about the show, its success, and how you can be a part of it. Judge Carroll, welcome again to Access Now.
Thank you so much for having me.
So you're obviously really well known as an accomplished judge, but for those at home who aren't familiar with your work, can you give us a little bit of a background on yourself?
Absolutely. So I have a career spanning some 35 years in the law. So I've practiced as an attorney, mostly in the court system, but also some chamber work as well. So for about 20 years across the Attorney General's office and private practice. And then I've had about 15 years as a judge between the magistrates' courts doing criminal and civil cases, and as a registrar hearing civil cases in the Supreme Court.
Amazing. Now, we also know that you're the one who came up with the concept for Judge Carroll. So tell us, why was this concept so important for you to bring forward?
Right. Well, that's a great question. So I found, both as a litigator and also as a judge, people are generally very afraid when they hear about going to court if they have a case or if they have an issue to be resolved. Like, we're very familiar with going to church and Junkanoo, but most people, if they ever go to court, it's only ever a once in a lifetime, and they are petrified. And then there's also this issue of people having problems that need resolving. And I thought that this would be a good way, because it's alternative resolution, alternative dispute resolution, and I thought it would be a good way to bring the problem solving to the people in a non-threatening kind of way.
Obviously, you're not the only one who thought that, because you've gone through season 1, you've just wrapped up season 2. Can you tell us how you felt about those seasons?
Right, well, the seasons were really great. It got off to a little bit of a slow start, but I put the idea out there and invited people to send emails and WhatsApp messages and so on. So gradually we were able to build up cases that we were able to tape, and getting ready now for season 3 as well. You know, people can reach out. They can contact 828-JUST or info@judgecarroll.net. And I encourage people because it provides not only entertainment and education, but when people have grievances, instead of just, you know, blasting someone on social media, you know, come to Justice with Judge Carroll, and I can use my experience and expertise and help you to resolve those really nagging problems.
And I know we always highlight these cases are real, and we've got season 3 coming up. What can we expect coming out of season 3?
Well, that depends on what cases the people bring to me for me to hear. But you know, just last week I was at the mall and someone said, you know, my neighbor's got these cats and they keep coming over, and I said, well, send me an email and we can see about getting you on the show. And yeah, so I'm definitely encouraging people, because we're going to be taping in a couple of weeks and from now until the summer. So if you have those nagging issues, you want to have the matters heard, then, because it's arbitration, then once both sides agree, I can have the legal authority, and the cases are legally binding too. The decisions are legally binding.
Amazing. So let's get that contact information one more time in case there's someone at home saying, yes, this could be me.
Yes, so it's 828-5878. That's 828-JUST, or info@judgecarroll.net.
Well, Judge Carroll, thank you so much for joining us tonight. All the best, and we can't wait for season 3.
Thank you.
As for us, let's take a look at what's coming up in sports.
Coaches and athletes gearing up for this year's Sam Haven Soccer Nationals. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
What? You don't know what TDC is? Tourism Development Corporation? You mean the Ministry of Tourism? No, that ain't the same thing, but the Tourism Development Corporation helps develop and grow Bahamian businesses in the tourism industry. You hear what they say, boy? Oh, yeah. Develop and grow. You don't know what all the things they do? What does do? Hey, check the website, boy.
Start your journey to ownership of our #1 industry today. Log on to tdcbahamas.com.
Celebrate the incredible women in your life this Mother's Day. And don't forget the special offer from Cornet Bahamas. From April 16th to May 16th, enjoy a fantastic 35% off store-wide. That's right, everything you need to show your love and appreciation is on sale. Whether it's a heartfelt gift for mom, a treat for yourself, or something special for that amazing woman in your life, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Visit any one of our stores today. Make this Mother's Day unforgettable with Cornet Bahamas.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Tuesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. The biggest high school soccer tournament in the country set to kick off in just a matter of days, as organizers this morning officially building hype for this year's Sam Haven Soccer Nationals. Our intern Swanson Gibson Jr. was at the press conference and filed this report.
The 6th edition of the Samuel P. Avon High School Soccer National kicks off this Thursday. Over the next few weeks, numerous private and public high schools will compete in Freeport and Nassau for a chance to claim the championship title. Although this is the 6th installment, this marks the first time the Bahamas Football Association has incorporated juniors into the mix.
We would have a northern playoff, and we would have one male school and one female school qualifying from that northern playoff. The northern playoff would involve 2 teams from Grand Bahama. That would be the top 2 teams, one from Abaco, that would be Patrick J. Bethel, and one from Eleuthera, that is not Eleuthera High School. I think so far from Grand Bahama, who would be participated would be St. George's and Tabernacle. New Providence, BAISS, we would have 3 schools, the top 3 schools in the championship, and GSSA 3 schools. They will compete on and that's male and female. They will compete on the 21st and 22nd of May to qualify for the semi-final round.
Also in attendance were several student athletes from various high schools. They discussed expectations and motivation ahead of nationals.
Well, obviously being defending champs and BISS champs now, we know the target on our back's going to be big, so, it's just hard work preparing. I understand that everyone's going to give us their best, and we have to be prepared for that.
I think our BIS season went well. We did not exceed our expectations because we were expecting to win, but I believe we can use that motivation and drive to push forward and try win.
The High School Soccer Nationals begins May 15th and runs through the 30th. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Swanson Gibson Jr.
Basketball news, a U.S.-based college doing their part to give back to the local community. John Brown University, based in Arkansas, who compete at the NAIA level, hosting a series of basketball clinics in the capital this week and will play a feature game on Wednesday against the Police Crime Stoppers. Yesterday, they were at St. Augustine's College conducting a skills workshop with several of their players.
I started making my connections here on the ground in the Bahamas with Assistant Superintendent Adderley with the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and we were able to just create the itinerary, and it just so happens that this week is the National Boys Week, and it's the same week that they were coming down.
I feel like it would benefit us academically and athletically because the guys talk about the GPA that you need to keep, and then the scholarship opportunities. Also athletically, they work hard, they are dedicated to teamwork, and they motivate each other.
And that's a look at your sports on this Tuesday. A check on weather when we return.
And I'm a survey enumerator with the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, or BNSI. For the next few months, we will be conducting the Household Expenditure Survey on various islands.
You might be wondering, why is this survey important? Well, it helps us to determine the poverty line and assess how to ensure everyone has access to the basic services they need. This information is used by the government, businesses, researchers, and students to make informed decisions and plan for the future. We know that your time is valuable, which is why we've made the survey as simple and easy as possible. And don't worry, all your information you provide is confidential.
Your participation will help us gather accurate information that will benefit everyone in the Bahamas. Thank you for your cooperation and being a part of shaping the future of the Bahamas.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, The Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
In our
Access weather forecast. The arid conditions, which have been around for quite a while, has finally come to a halt, and that's as a result of an area of low pressure that came out of the Gulf of Mexico with a trailing trough system, which is presently going through the capital. You can see some of those heavy showers and thunderstorms on the west side of central Andros there, and they will be pushing towards the east, so we'll get a little bit more range tonight. And a second round, there goes that second line near central Florida. That too is sinking towards the southern east and could bring a couple more showers tomorrow before things start to clear out on Thursday of this week. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Live Business, where we bulk up your business. Light and variable winds can be expected tonight right through Thursday, and that's for the northwestern parts of our country with flat seas. High tide will take place at 9:22 tonight, with another high tide at 9:37 tomorrow morning. And for the southeast, Bahamas also tonight into Thursday, southeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Somebody trip Mary down, and everybody know Mary don't take no mess. She roll until she find a tree, struggle up on a busted knee, tuck away her queen-size cotton dress. Who did her wrong? She did not know, but somebody started laughing, so Mary started swinging left and right. Mary just one gal, that's true, but she big enough to be a...
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. We'll join me at 11 o'clock for full weather update, LaDawn and Marlena.
Thanks a lot, Basil. A totally rainy day today, Marlena.
It sure is. Outside is feeling like blanket, wine, and movie marathon kind of night, you know?
That's what I'm talking about, so let's speed things up. Here's Matea Cunningham with Let's Talk Socials.
Welcome back to LTS. For those who don't know, that's short for Let's Talk Socials. As we all know, Mother's Day was this past weekend, and listen, the sons and daughters did not come to play. From heartfelt tributes to full-blown productions, the timelines were flooded with love. Let's take a look at some of the sweetest, funniest, and most viral moments shared this Mother's Day season. Get the flowers.
Hey, Roman numeral 7, babe, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I'd take your dreams and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I'd take your enemies in front of God. Introduce them to that light. Hit them straight.
Happy Mother's Day! 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 Happy Mother's Day!
I'm so proud of all you've done. Take me down your old street. Tell me your memories of when you were young and when you fell in love. Drive me through the country. Tell me your story, and you can play all of your favorite songs. 'Cause I'm gonna need this when I'm holding pictures of you, and that's all that I've got left.
Whether it was roses, prayer breakfasts, matching outfits, or just a simple I love you, this Mother's Day proved yet again how much our moms mean to us. That's it for this episode of Let's Talk Socials. I'm Matea, and I'll catch you next time for more trending topics, social spotlights, and viral moments.
So sweet. Good job, Matea. Well, that does it for Access Now this evening.
Yes, but stay tuned for the rundown with Clint Watson.
Good night, everybody.
This is The Rundown, giving you the story behind the story with a new perspective every Thursday with host Ahmad Rashad Thompson. This is The Rundown.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, The Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
It's time to grow your church. time to extend your message to all the islands in the Bahamas, into the Turks and Caicos Islands, and to the world via the ZNS app and website. It's time to broadcast your church's services on ZNS TV. To help you with that, ZNS has some exciting new packages with very good prices. It's time to call 502-3813 for details.
Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Dr. Gale, and I'm inviting you to be a part of a journey where we open the Word of God to receive strength, to receive empowerment from the Scriptures as they have been written. Get your Bibles, get your cup of coffee or your tea, because this journey is gonna be great. This is your day of victory.
Summer in the Bahamas. The weather is hot, but not as hot as the ZNS summer packages. Get ads on ZNS TV or ZNS Radio Network or the TV community page, or a combination of all three. ZNS has got you covered with great prices, whatever package you choose. Book before June 7th and get the local Federation Championship Baseball bonus full of all kinds of extras free of charge. Contact your account executive or call ZNS Sales at 502-3800 today. Hot summer package rates valid until July 31st.
Join us each Sunday at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 2:30 p.m. for Legends, the Untold Story, here on the ZNS Television Network.
I have been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal? At the check-in counter? At security checkpoints? Or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities are non-visible. In an airport environment, workers are often unaware of hidden physical, mental, or neurological disabilities that some passengers live with. This can lead to frustration and a less than ideal travel experience. So, how do we make the invisible more visible? At LPIA, we've implemented the Sunflower Lanyard program. The lanyards are visual cues for airport workers to immediately identify passengers who might need additional assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and key stakeholders at LPIA to launch the internationally recognized initiative. We're joining more than 180 airports and 26 countries already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free Sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us for another night. Well, Grand Bahamas hotel sector getting a much-anticipated boost with Thursday's heads of agreement signing for the redevelopment of the Grand Lucayan Resort. It's literally the talk of Grand Bahama. And if you're familiar with the Lucaya area, officials at Grand Lucayan's neighbor, the Pelican Bay Resort, is expressing optimism that the redevelopment of the Grand Bahama International Airport could move in tandem, boosting both tourism and investor confidence. Raven Davis of our Northern Service has the story tonight.
Been getting Grand Lucayan back and reopened.
Nearly a decade after Hurricane Matthew crippled Grand Bahama's tourism lifeline, a potential turning point is finally in sight. Pelican Bay Managing Director Magnus Alnebeck views the imminent signing of the heads of agreement for the Grand Lucayan Resort as a critical step forward.
There is going to be work and rebranding and repositioning and renovations, and then eventually there will be an opening, and that will be the big nice day.
In its heyday, Grand Bahama boasted nearly 5,000 hotel rooms, a number that has since plummeted. Alnebeck emphasizes that while the resort revival is a major development, the island needs more volume. That is why he sees the property's redevelopment as a pivotal move toward restoring Grand Bahama's hospitality sector.
Those people want to have a destination that is alive with restaurants and plenty of stores and things that are happening. So, you know, we are probably the biggest supporters of getting Grand Lucayan open. It is likely to be 60 or 70% of all the rooms that we have that hopefully will get open pretty soon. And that will, of course, attract airlift, and hopefully we'll get the airfares down, and you know, there's a whole effect of something like that.
Addressing another crucial piece of the puzzle, he says he's optimistic that the redevelopment of the Grand Bahama International Airport will move forward in tandem with the resort project, further positioning the island for sustained economic growth.
I would be highly surprised if that's not part of the heads of agreement. I'm sure that the new owners of such a hotel will have worked that out with government.
Meanwhile, reports continue to circulate about the identity of the investor behind the Grand Lucayan deal. While the government has remained tight-lipped on the details, the Pelican Bay manager says a mixed resort model would be a smart and strategic approach to attracting a broad range of visitors.
You might have some property that is focused on family tourism, maybe some property that is focused on younger couples. What that combination is going to be and how that is going to be positioned, that I leave to the owners.
All right. Raven Davis reporting there from Northern Service. Now you hear that speck of optimism from the neighbor right across the road, which people would look at as the competitor, but understand how the sector works. When you have a massive project like that that's about to take shape and take form with its redevelopment and bringing obviously new visitors, it only bodes well for those properties in the area. And Pelican, you can imagine, has benefited perhaps from that resort not being fully occupational because of the fact that people have been going there instead, right? But yet, there's this amount of optimism that this is good for us in Grand Bahama. This is good for the sector because in tourism, your success comes with shared responsibility with others. You can't say, well, I want to be the only thing operating and the only entity here and think you're going to make all the money. It doesn't work like that in tourism. It's a shared thing. You see, if everybody gets a piece of the pie, if everybody has great development, then it boosts arrivals, it boosts more people have the capacity to stay, and everybody benefits. And so there it is. The Pelican Bay, right across the road from Grand Lucayan, believes this is good news for the island as a destination And no doubt they'll continue to benefit, perhaps even more. Well, here in the capital, former head of the Bahamas Hotel Tourism Association and Bahama Vice President Robert Sandy Sands forecasts that the redevelopment of the Grand Lucaine Resort, well, represents a renaissance for tourism on Grand Bahama and a new beginning for its residents.
It is so important that this particular project gets off the ground, started, and that we put people to work and we begin to attract persons back to Grand Bahama Island. For years, that was the second destination. And for multiple reasons, it's fallen off. I only wish them the greatest success in making this happen in the shortest period of time so that we can get that ball rolling again. There is no downside to this hotel opening in Grand Bahama. It is only all positive.
Well, the senior hotel executive is applauding the parties for reaching to this point, which he predicts will be a, you got it right, game changer.
And I wish the developer, I congratulate the government of the Bahamas for its tenacity in pursuing this, and to the people of Grand Bahama who will benefit from this opening by job creation, and the vendors that have been sitting idle for a long period of time. My prayer is that this is, like I say, a new beginning of great things to come for Grand Bahama.
I like the description of sitting idle. That's how slow it's been. They've been sitting idle. And so you can imagine why people are expressing so much optimism, because it can only go up from here, right? That's what people are believing. I mean, why wish ill about it? And you hear the message there, people can go back. Can you imagine? Now, if you know Grand Bahamians, and I gotta be careful how I word this, I have a Grand Bahamian in the studio tonight. If you understand Grand Bahamians, they love Grand Bahama, right? So for Grand Bahamians to have relocated because of the economy, you understand it must have been a tough move, because we've always had this little rivalry going on with New Providence and Grand Bahama. Grand Bahamians love Grand Bahama. And so for many of them to have moved out because of the economy or because of lack of work to be able to make ends meet, that was a tough decision. So the fact that this now can signal that you can go back to Grand Bahama, you can imagine how many people are excited about it, because that's home to them and that's something they always are proud of. And so being able to get back to work or see the economy come back, it's nothing but good news for the people of Grand Bahama. And so, of course, everybody's hoping, I would think, to wish them well and hope that this works out and this pans out and we see Grand Bahama. I don't think you want to go back. You know, people keep saying go back to the glory days, but I always tell people you don't never want to go back. You want to move forward, right? You want to see the kind of economic activity you once saw. You want to see that same kind of economic activity again, and that same kind of success. And I believe they're onto something, and so I think everybody's waiting for Thursday and hoping that it happens. One thing we are hearing, the developers are ready to go. It's not about signing and then let's go back and have a good vacation. They want to begin working right away to prove that this is not just a signing. They are serious about getting to work and redeveloping that entire area. And we understand there's going to be some surprise announcements by Prime Minister later that evening when he gets over to the Port Lucaya. There are some other announcements over there. So it's going to be a pretty big day for Grand Bahamians, and one I think they can look and say, listen, we think we're out of the doldrum. Let's look forward and let's see progress, and let's see the redevelopment, and let's see the worth of Grand Bahama come forward again. That's going to be pretty excitement. As we mentioned, the redevelopment of Grand Bahama is a talk of the town. Everybody's talking about it. You may remember that Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, has made it clear on several occasions that an announcement was imminent on the resort sale. In fact, this past February, he hinted that the government was in the final stage of closing a deal with a prospective buyer. The Prime Minister declared that his administration is taking a holistic approach to the sale of what has been a beleaguered resort, right? As well as a promised redevelopment of Grand Bahama International Airport, adding that the government sees the two projects as connected. And of course, we want to remind you about our live coverage right here on the ZNS television network and radio network, of course, as well. The historic heads of agreement signing for the redevelopment on the Grand Lucaine Resort this Thursday, May 15th. Our coverage starts at 1:30 p.m. ahead of that 2 o'clock signing. We'll be on air all afternoon to make sure you don't miss not one part of it in Grand Bahama. And in the rundown, of course, my show will be coming there live as well on Thursday. That means the rundown on leadership will return next week Thursday with Ahmad Rashad, as we'll be in Grand Bahama for the signing of those agreements. And here's what's on the show tonight, of course. Did you know the University of the Bahamas has its own government and public policy institute? Y'all better recognize UB ain't playing. It offers highly trained and motivated professionals pursuing public policy discourse, research, and training that significantly impacts the good governance, prosperity, and sustainable development of the Bahamas and the Caribbean. I can think about a long list of people who need to go to this institute who are already working in government, who are ready. Anyway, let's not go there right yet. The head of the institute joins us tonight. We'll talk about it. Some folk, we need to offer scholarships to them. And it's National Road Safety Week. You know what that means? That's the one time you all drive safely for 1 week at least. Well, for all you motorists out there, that means you must continue to follow the rules of the road. Officials of the Bahamas Driving School Association. I'm learning about all these associations because I never knew there was one. And they are in existence, and they're very active. They're on the show tonight to give you a better educate residents on the importance of road safety. So we've got a good show planned for you. The rundown here in the ZNS Network. We get started with all of this right after the break. Stay close.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
The thought of colon cancer never really crossed my mind until 2019, when a very good friend of mine was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. I was shocked. Everybody was shocked because he was a picture of perfect health. He was young, athletic, successful, and full of life. Many of us are still in disbelief. I started to question my own health because if it happened to him, surely it could happen to me. Then came the fear, the anxiety, and everything else in between. Facing your own mortality is very sobering. But for me, I decided right then to have a colonoscopy. And I'm glad I did.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer diagnosed in Bahamian men and women. Fortunately, almost all colon cancers are preventable. A colonoscopy or some other appropriate form of colon cancer screening is recommended for everyone over the age of 45. During a colonoscopy, we can detect and remove colon polyps that may grow and later become colon cancers. Don't wait until you develop symptoms, such as blood in your stool, abdominal pain, a significant change in your bowel habits, or unintentional weight loss. These may all be indications of a severe problem that requires immediate attention. If you're over the age of 45 or have any of those symptoms, talk to your doctor about the benefits of colon cancer screening today.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass that along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Welcome back to the Rundown. A special good night to all of you. Those of you who are watching in the lines, then I see you in the lines, and always great to have you. Those who watch by YouTube, whether you're in Turks and Caicos, in the Caribbean, around the Family Islands, internationally watching us, it's always good to have you join us on the Rundown tonight. Well, the vision of the University of the Bahamas' Government and Public Policy Institute is to facilitate highly trained and motivated professionals pursuing public policy discourse, research, and training that significantly impact the good governance, prosperity, and sustainable development of the Bahamas and the Caribbean region and beyond by extension. Well, the Institute is committed to rigorous research integrity, sound public policy, and service to people, among others. Executive Director of UB's Government and Public Policy Institute is former Minister of State for Finance and former Member of Parliament served in Fort Charlotte, also in Marco City, Shivargo Lang. And we're so happy to have him on the Rundown for his inaugural appearance. It took long to get here, but you're here. You're here.
Good to be here.
Welcome, sir. Good to have you in the Rundown.
Thank you.
You know, when you think that we have a policy, see, people don't understand, I'm serious about this. When you have such a policy in the University of the Bahamas, I think some folk ought to pay a visit because I am sure we would have stronger governance and stronger people in government if a lot of people were able to filter through some institution of higher learning to get some key facts and key skills. Somehow I always tell people, you know, because you win an election, you run and you win, don't automatically make you a professional public policy individual, somebody who's perfect in public policy, perfect in running a government ministry you never ran before in your life. You don't become the expert all of a sudden. And sometimes I think that's why administrations fail, because all of a sudden you become the expert subject matter, and people who've been in universities getting degrees, who've worked in these places for years, all of a sudden don't have any opinion. But let's talk about the public policy department at UB and really what do you strive to achieve with this particular division?
Right. So the Institute, the Government and Public Policy Institute, is a think tank. Right? So our job is to think, research, train in matters of public policy. What do we mean by public policy? Public policy is anything the government is or is not doing in response to a concern of the public, an issue of the public. So whether the government is addressing some road issue, some educational issue, some public health issue, or some economic issue, all of that concerns public policy. And our job is to do four things. So many times when we talk about government issues in the Bahamas, we come at it from our prisms. Right? We come at it from our opinions.
We're very opinionated in this country, and we try to make opinions to be facts.
And you know, everybody, you're gonna have opinions. Where we differ is we have to approach the dialogue from an evidence-based point of view. So we try to bring regional, international, local research to bear on the subject so that it's more informed and not as dictated by passion or prisms as oftentimes can be the case. So dialogue is what we do. So you'll see us have public policy lectures. We invite ministers to come in and give public policy lectures about their particular areas. We invite international experts to talk about matters that impact public policy in the Bahamas, the region, and in the world. So that's the first thing we do. The second thing we do is we do research. So to have advanced knowledge of something, you have to do research. And research isn't I checked Google and filled up some things and that's that. That's not the research we do. We have to do scholarly research. And scholarly research has to be subject to robustness and rigor and has to be peer-reviewed. And so it has to be something that can stand up to scrutiny. So you would have seen us do the living wage study. Which was one of the first research studies we initiated. We would have done cultural values studies. We would have done studies for the Ministry of Finance on economic recovery and growth and created a computer dynamic model that the government can use today to scenario different things that can tell it what is likely to happen if we did those things. So we do a great deal in the way of research. We also make ourselves available to the public and private sector in the event that they want to have something studied or some guidance about public policy. So let's say the government is proposing some public health initiative.
Right.
And the private sector firms that might be concerned with that says, well, we'd like to have a better perspective on this. They can come to the Public Policy Institute and even ask us, can we engage you to research that issue for us? And we can do that. The government could do the same thing. We're thinking about doing this. Can the Public Policy Institute give us some research-backed guidance on this matter? And because we have the ability to connect with experts all over the world, there is really literally nothing we can't study for the country, private or public sectors. So we do that. We also do training. So you mentioned it. So we do training. We actually have trained scores of public civil servants in an extensive Bahamas Public Service Institutional Capacity Building program. And so we do provide opportunities for people to get more training in matters of public policy, public administration, and the like.
Do you find that people are taking full advantage of what this division can provide?
Well, first of all, let's be clear that the university itself has a number of courses in matters of public administration, government, and the like that people can access. We do purpose-built trainings for clients, for people who might ask us to do it. And so what we hope to do going forward, for instance, is offer seminars in matters of public policy for people who are interested in political leadership, as we have done with the IDB as a partner for women in political leadership. And so that will allow some people who have an interest in government, who do not know as much as they might need to know to be more effective when they go into government, to be able to take advantage of those courses.
I'm going to ask you a very blunt question. Are the people entering government over the past, I guess, maybe even from maybe a few decades, recent, let's say about decades, 2 decades, do you believe they're equipped to govern?
Well, you know, it's hard for me to say because I don't know personally the backgrounds of all these people. Some of those people have had experience in government, whether they were civil servants or they were politically elected persons or appointed persons. So some people have. Some people have not had any such exposure, and so they come into it fresh and they come into it new. Really, the truth is a willingness to serve and a humility to learn is pretty much all you need to be able to expand your capacity to serve well. So if people come in, as you say, and I know everything because the people elected me and I'm not going to listen to anybody, that's a formula for disaster.
Right.
But if you come in and you say, you know what, I don't know a lot, and so here are trained professionals, permanent secretaries, deputy permanent secretaries, and FASs and SASs and directors who are available to provide some guidance, etc. And then there's some experienced policy directorates who have been in office before, who remain in office, who I could draw on. If you have that approach, you do well. When you don't have that approach, it doesn't go so well.
We look at the public service, right? It is a creature, I call it a creature because of the magnitude of it. It's built on policies, right? Many that people believe are outdated and need updating. Many that people don't understand actually exist for a purpose. And so people circumvent it because they don't understand, well, why do you do this? Until you understand how they connect. How do we solve a robust, growing nation when public policy seems to be few and far between in so many areas, or void in so many areas that need to be governed by public policy?
Well, the reality is public policy is everywhere. The fact that the Broadcasting Corporation exists is a matter of public policy. Correct. The government decided there will be a Broadcasting Corporation. Inside your homes, you can't get married in this country and have a marriage license unless the government says so. Correct. And you have to do it in the way the government says so. So public policy is everywhere, and the only thing you can do is do more and more to make people aware notion of policy and the type of policies that exist. Every law in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is a public policy that is codified. Every law. So so you always see in public policy when you choose to run or don't run a red light, you are choosing to break or don't break a public policy. Right. So it's everywhere. I mean, you can't escape public policy, and we have a lot of knowledge of public policy, but we just don't know that they are public policy. Mm-hmm. When you go to apply for your business license, and the way you go, because you've been doing it for so long, you are complying with public policy. So I'm just now, and we are helping to introduce the language of public policy more, and we will try to educate about public policy more, both in formal and informal ways.
Can your division work more cohesively with government? Because there is a sector of government where reform is necessary, and reshaping public policy are important. Can you work hand in hand with that, and have you been doing that?
Well, absolutely. In fact, we've been pleased that the government has looked to us for training. The largest single grant that we had to do any work was a training grant for public civil servants.
Wow.
Like I said before, the Ministry of Finance engaged us to do a study on recovery and economic development arising out of the pandemic. And so we did that study for them. We are doing a major study for the Ministry of Education on factors affecting learning outcomes in school-age children.
Wow.
So the government has been very eager to use the Institute to assist and support it, and we have made ourselves available to the government, as we have to the private sector. We have nonprofits who come to ask us about training in matters of public policy. We have multilateral institutions that come and want to partner with us to do things in regard to public policy, and so the Institute is really making its way.
Where do your students go when they're done graduating?
Well, so the Institute doesn't itself have students or graduates. The university has the students and the graduates. We are a component, an institute within the university, and so our training may be to civil servants, to private sector groupings or the like. But when people finish training in terms of public policy and administration at the university, they can go off and do master's program, become professional scholars. They can end up in government somewhere, participating in public policy design and execution. So it really becomes limitless what people can do with a good, solid knowledge in public policy and administration.
All right, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to turn to some of the current affairs and issues going on in the country and get your take on it. It is so interesting, especially since I saw a post regarding you right before the show. I'm going to get your take on that. We're going to spice up a little bit after this break. You're watching The Rundown. We're back right after this. Stay close.
Summer in the Bahamas. The weather is hot, but not as hot as the ZNS summer packages. Get ads on ZNS TV or ZNS Radio Network or the TV community page, or a combination of all three. ZNS has got you covered with great prices, whatever package you choose. Book before June 7th and get the local Federation Championship Baseball bonus full of all kinds of extras free of charge. Contact your account executive or call ZNS Sales at 502-3800 today. Hot summer package rates valid until July 31st.
At Frame Studio, as soon as you enter the door, we showcase any individual that comes in there and make it feel like they are at home. The space itself is 1,800 square foot. Our side wall, which is industry standard also, is 24 feet wide. You can do anything that you can possibly think of. At Frame Studio, under our theme, Now Create More, we look at Frame Studio as a canvas, and any artist knows a canvas is blank, and then you create whatever you want to do, right? So we have where you could rent tools. We even have workstations that people could rent out. To anyone inspiring to do what I've done, or what my colleagues have done, or any other journey, I would say to you, don't be afraid. The worst someone can actually tell you is no. So if you have a vision, you have an idea, not everyone will get it. But if you believe in your vision, you believe in your idea, I say go wholeheartedly at it.
For more information about the Creative Entrepreneurs Initiative and the Crafting the Bahamas workshops, email info@sbdcbahamas.com or call us at 461-7232.
Hi, Phil Swift here for the FlexSeal family of flood protection products. Our flood protection products are specifically designed to work together in order to create multiple layers of super strong protection. All these windows, doors, seams, and openings have all been sealed up tight. Now there's a new way to protect your home or business from damaging floodwaters. Get the removable FlexSeal family of flood protection products.
Welcome back. We're talking to Shivago Lang, former cabinet minister, former state minister of finance, and of course, he is the executive director of the Public Policy Institute at the University of the Bahamas. We're going to turn now to some of the current affairs happening in the country and get his take on it. Obviously, we're going to start with what people are talking about this week, Grand Lucayan. Your take on the government announcement that they've reached to this stage?
Yeah, welcome announcement, absolutely. You know, we'll keep monitoring it to see the progress made from announcement to signing to start and to operation for sure. And you'll have to forgive Grand Bahamians if they tend to be a little bit more cautious in their optimism, because they have seen a lot of groundbreakings and announcements, and so they'd be more eager to see the thing actually unfold. But it's great. It's great to hear progress is being made, and I look forward to it. And I hope and pray they have, you know, just awesome success.
People have asked so many years, what is the key to getting Grand Bahama back on its feet, right? And it seems as though the answer has wavered over the years. I want to get your take on what is the answer to getting Grand Bahama back on its feet?
Successfully operated resorts and other kinds of businesses outside of the industrial sector. Grand Bahama is like the tale of two cities. There's the industrial sector that's doing very well. Right. Their clients are outside the island, outside the country, but they don't hire a lot of people. They hire a good number of people, but not a lot. There are lots of people whose skill set is in tourism and related fields, who, if a resort is open and hiring hundreds of them, that's great, wonderful. They get to come back home. They get to be home and do their stuff. And so what it really requires is a robust tourism sector alongside the industrial sector, alongside other enterprises and sectors opening up on the island.
And what do you believe has been the challenge to getting tourism back robustly in Grand Bahama? Well,
finding the right developer and the right operator. That's really been. We had a great developer in Hutchison Mampo, but they didn't have a good operation.
Right.
And so if this group that's signing is a great developer and operator, it would bode well for the island and for the country, quite frankly.
There's been the ongoing dispute, as you know, with this administration and the Port Authority. And that has kind of had people a bit skeptical as to what's going to go on in Grand Bahama, because there has to kind of be a partnership going on with the port and with the government. Your take on this?
Well, I always thought that it was not a very productive dispute, not a very productive approach that the government took to the Port Authority. There are good reasons to be frustrated with the Port Authority, because if the Port Authority is largely responsible for economic activity and development in the Freeport area, then nobody who looks at Freeport over the last 20 years could say that the port has done a great job at that. Right. So that's a fact. But then if you look at East Grand Bahama and West Grand Bahama, which the government has responsibility for, they have absolutely nothing going on all of in those spots either. So So it's kind of difficult for the government to claim that the port is useless if by the same token, many of the areas you have responsibility for are not doing anything. So everybody's useless.
Right.
Solving the issue of economic progress for Grand Bahama isn't a matter of name calling and conflict. It's a matter of cooperation, collaboration, and coordination, and doing the necessary to go find successful and capable investors, such as we are being told now may be in the works.
This administration has said they've done their due diligence. We see what's happening with Celebration Key. We see what's happening with the purchase of Xanadu Resort by Royal Caribbean. We see several other small projects that are coming on stream, and now the Grand Lucayan. If these pan out, will that be enough to get Grand Bahama jump started?
If they pan out, it'd be great progress for Grand Bahama. There's no question about that. It'd be great. I mean, I myself know of something that could be very meaningful for Grand Bahama, but we'll see.
Really, something that's coming on stream?
Something being considered. Let's put it like that.
You want to tell us a little bit about that?
No, I told you much.
Let's talk about, you've been a member of the Free National Movement. You served as a cabinet minister in an Ingram administration. The party has transitioned with leadership. I was reading to you in the break, someone who went online and posted a criticism about you, I guess criticizing Dr. Minnis and saying, well, he's not in the picture anymore, but they believe that you're still criticizing it. What is your take on what is happening with the Free National Movement? They seem to move away from a lot of the senior members who perhaps were in government before and were trying to still be a part. They've moved away from that. Michael Pintard has kind of presented an image that I'm trying to create a new thing, a new image, and move away from the old stain of the F&M. What is your take on that?
Well, you know, I'm always amazed that the people who say that Minnis has gone quietly into the sunset and not been making much noise tend to go and make so much noise for him. Why? Why would you be so passionate that somebody is, in quote, criticizing Dr. Minnis if you don't have some axe to grind yourself? The truth of the matter is the Free National Movement has made its determination about its leadership. They had a convention. The same Dr. Minnis who they said isn't against or doesn't do anything to undermine Michael Pintard contested against him in that convention. Former Prime Minister and former leader of the party.
Is that a bad thing?
No, absolutely not. He's free to do that, but the matter was settled at convention.
Right.
And since being settled at convention, the posture of the former leader and former Prime Minister has not been one of significant support for the party's leadership. And I don't have to hide that. I mean, that's obvious. If you're my leader, and for 4 years I've been the opposition leader, and some people say, well, he's never said anything against him. What has he said for him?
True.
Just let's find a newspaper clipping. True. Let's find the interview in the House of Assembly where he said, this is my leader and I support him and blah, blah, blah. How often has that happened? So it becomes an obvious something. So I think the party is trying to move forward. It does have a segment, and it is significant that it's the supporters of the former Prime Minister and leader of the party that seems to have a challenge with the current leadership. And so, you know, it's not, to my mind, disunity. It's, to my mind, a issue.
He said in the House Assembly last week, Wednesday, that he will continue to represent the people of Killarney, and he will, I guess, perhaps continue to represent them. It was his indirect way of saying, I'm just going away, without saying I'm going away.
Yeah.
He was not clear, but he didn't give the notion that, although you haven't given me the nomination, I'm done.
Well, until election, he is the representative for Killarney. FNMPLP doesn't matter. He's the representative, and he ought to do his job as the representative for Killarney. If, in fact, he decides to run again, that's fine, too. I mean, this is a free country, and he has a right to do that. it is unlikely he's going to do that on an F&M ticket, but he can do so anyways. And if he wins, then he confirms what he has said about the support he has in the area. If he doesn't, then he now knows another story. But so this is not even the issue, because I listen to people say Mr. Pintat is trying to retire him. No one can retire you. Retirement is a voluntary choice, right? So it's only a question of whether you get to run under an F&M ticket or do something else. And he determined last election that a number of people would not run under the F&M.
So this is kind of like...
and he also determined that if the people reject you, because when you lose an election, according to the former Prime Minister, the description of you is that the people reject you. He said the people rejected Ingram. So apparently when you lose an election, you are rejected by people. And so he then described Mr. Ingram as having his era over and going into retirement. What's good for the goose, some people might say, should be good for the gander.
Does it seem a bit awkward for a former prime minister to run again in his constituency, but without a party support, independent? Does that not seem a bit awkward?
It would be highly unusual. In fact, I think the F&M's constitution, as in most parties' constitutions, if you contest against your party, and imagine that this is a former prime minister who would be contesting against his party, that you are automatically expelled from your party. Right, because I mean, think about that. You run against your party. I could not conceive of a Sir Lyndon running against the PLP.
Right.
A Perry Christie running against the PLP. A Brave Davis running against the PLP. A Hubert Ingram running against the F&M. I couldn't conceive of any such thing as Cecil Wallace Whitfield. No, man, that's highly unusual.
He clearly is still making a decision, because he's not come out and say, I'm going to run again, and he's not said what he's going to do. He's kind of left it out there, and when he left the House, reporters went to try and badger him, and he said nothing. And I told people, I said, listen, that's a part of his plan. He's clearly still trying to make a decision, and he doesn't want to make a decision too soon, this far ahead of elections. He's always waiting to see where the support lies for him and what his options are, and whether it would be wise to run independently. But because at the end of the day, the party decides they're not running you, you can't do anything to force him to run you. And so I think he's obviously calculating his moves to make a decision.
You know what is interesting is, first of all, if I have done one show every day, 5 days a week for the last several months, and Dr. Minnis has been the subject of that show for 5% of the time, boy, the people are right. I'm talking about him every day. But what is true is, Dr. Minnis is a political figure, a public figure, a significant figure. If he makes a comment, we do a current affairs show, as you do, we talk about current affairs.
Correct.
Dr. Minnis said recently he was going to run.
Right.
And so we talk about it. And so I'm sorry some people's feelings get hurt when their favorite people may not be spoken of in the glowing ways that they would like. But if you're a public figure, this is life. And talking about me doesn't make me feel one way or the other.
You have stepped away from politics. Was it how you wanted it to be, or you still felt you had years left in public service as a politician?
Well, I didn't step away from politics. People fired me. And so I packed up my Georgie bundle and I went about my business. When they came back to ask me, I said, no, I'm busy, I'm doing some other things for the moment, and so blah, blah, that's the way it is. So I'm very dried-eyed about what has happened in my life, you know. I offered myself for office, I won. I offered myself for office again, I lost. I offered myself for office, I won. I offered myself for office again, I lost. And so now I'm just doing other things. And I have not been disappointed, I've been disgusted, I've been delighted about my presence in politics, and I've been delighted about my presence out of politics.
What advice do you give to the Free National Movement? It's now preparing to go into a general election. It has a new leader. It still has in the shadows an old leader who people still don't know. The party clearly still has supporters for one and supporters for the next. the FNM has this one opportunity right now to try and position itself to become the next government. Meanwhile, the PLP is hoping to break a streak that has gone on for decades of one-term governance. What advice do you give right now to both parties, actually?
I give them the same thing I say to politicians all the time, that you are players on a stage, and the audience are the voters. If you stay on the stage patting yourself about the great job you've done, that means nothing if the audience isn't giving you a standing ovation. And so what the actors on the stage, the political operatives, have to do is be focused on the audience. What is it that concerns you? What is it that you need? What is it that we can really do to help you? How can I persuade you? How can I convince you? How can I keep your attention? That's the bottom line. You can't get caught up with some actor or actress playing freaky on the side here, some actor or actress trying to do their own thing on the side here. All the while, you keep focused on the audience and you see, are they smiling? Are they happy? Are they delighted? Are they proud? Are they crying? And you continue to serve the audience.
Does that mean, because in politics, it's been so strange in our country, because it seems as though the needs are more sometimes personal than they are national.
Right.
And people at this point figure, well, you know what, y'all can do what y'all do anyway, so let me see what I can get out of it. What you can do for me, and if you do for me, I vote for you. If you don't do for me, then you're out. Is that the nationalistic approach, or that's what we become when it comes to voting?
Well, I mean, it's hard to ask people not to think about their own personal needs in the collective, because if I am unemployed, I have a real need. My need is of a job. If my income isn't good, then my need is better income. If my mom is sick and needs can't afford it, those
are the real issues.
So those are, and so the reality is, you have to be honest with people. Sir, I cannot bail your son out. Ma'am, the medical bill that you have, I can't personally do anything about, but we ought to be able to develop and design a program that addresses your need, because you represent others, and so forth and so forth. So it is a listening and an attempt to realistically respond. Now, if you want to go to people into the public and lie to them and all that kind of stuff, at the end of the day, all you're going to do is get found out, whether you win or lose. So be honest with people and try to, as best you can, address their collective needs and soak up some of their individual needs in the process.
That's good advice there. It's always good to hear from you, Trivago.
My pleasure.
Thank you for coming to the Rundown.
Anytime.
We appreciate you being here tonight. Still to come tonight, do you follow the rules of the road? Pops up a public policy. If you don't, we'll tell you why you should. And when the Rundown comes back, we'll meet the people who have some words of advice for you. We're back after the stickers.
Join us each Sunday at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 2:30 p.m. for Legends, the Untold Story, here on the ZNS Television Network.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
For us at the Myers Group of restaurants, we found that we have a pretty large portion of our employment pool that had difficulty getting bank accounts.
The issue we had previously was just getting cash, getting funds on the island. And with only one working ATM, the idea of the sand dollar just in being digital And everybody has a smartphone nowadays. It actually works into our favor.
The sand dollar was like a godsend because it allowed us to add it to our payroll system, which means we're able to send their money to the sand dollar wallet.
It's still a bank transfer because you get an account number. So from the employer side of things, all I have to do is send your funds just as usual.
It opens up our pool for us to be able to hire some of the people that we couldn't hire before because they were unable to open bank accounts. This has been a really good solution.
Well, here are some stats motorists need to know, all right? Let's give it to you. Road traffic injuries are a leading cause of death and disability worldwide, with nearly 1.2 million people killed and as many as 15 million people injured each year. And they are the leading killer of young people aged 5 to 29 years. Globally, more than 1 of every 4 deaths occur among pedestrians and cyclists. And this is why all motorists should practice road safety at all times. And as the country observes National Road Safety Week under the theme, Making Walking and Cycling Safe, executives from the Bahamas Driving School Association are here tonight to provide us with some important tips on driving safely. Please welcome Vice President Nathaniel Pierre and Secretary Calpurnia Campbell on the show. Welcome, both of you. Good to have both of you here.
Thank you
for being here to run down.
Good evening.
When I think about road safety, I always think about the fact that we had so many people who were enraged on our streets, right? You have the regular drivers, you have the fearful drivers, and you got the crazy drivers. And people who are always angry at something or something happens and they react with their driving to it. And it creates very unsafe roads. What is the message that your association would like to push to Bahamians this week?
Well, good evening, Mr. Watson, and thank you on behalf of our association, our president, and our hard-working instructors. Excellent question. We would like the Bahamas to recognize that we are all stakeholders when it comes to safe driving. We've all been in the streets when an accident happens, and we don't know why the traffic is backed up for miles, and then we see what happens. We all have heard about the traffic fatalities, 15 for this year already. And with a nation with under 1 million people, that's significant. And so we are all impacted one way or the next when a traffic fatality happens or when an accident happens, even if it's just delay or if it's just because of the tragedy itself. We want people to recognize that driving safely is not a demand. It's what we want to move towards as a nation. I'll give you a small example. I was downtown and the police pulled me over in my truck because I had sign on it without a tarp. And the police, he asked for my ID and I gave it to him. And he says, "You drive taxi also?" I said, "Yes, sir." So he let me go. But there was 5 tourists behind him looking at the interaction between law enforcement and the citizenry. And so everything we do impacts GDP, impacts tourism. People are watching how we behave on the roads, and we would just like to be proud in that area as Bahamians also to say we do well on the road, you know, to reduce some of these things.
You know, I'll bring in on this because it's not the fact that we don't know. Because we do whatever we want to do here, and the minute we rent a car in the United States of America, we put on our seatbelt the minute we get in the car, we follow the rules, we don't overtake, we don't come out to the edge of the corner and try to sneak onto the thing. We drive very safe in the United States of America, and we obey all the rules in the United States of America. So I've adopted the fact that it's just our culture that where we say in our minds, I get away with this. But we know in the United States, I could pay a serious fine for this or go to jail. So do you believe it's more so a mindset over the fact that it is people just don't know?
Well, to say they don't know, like you said earlier, it's shared responsibility. You know when it's time to take your driving test because you want to get that license.
Because you have an end game plan.
Yes, and you encourage them, drive safely. They say, yes, I will. But then you see them maybe 5 years later, it's like, you sure I taught you?
Wow.
Yes, I didn't get in any accident, but you can cause an accident. But now, when we talk about driving safely, we have to look at the man in the mirror. What is it that we are doing that would cause someone to say, why are you doing that? How are you helping me to be more responsible on the road? Let's look at pedestrian crossings, right? Just make walking and cycling safe. With the pedestrian crossings, they see someone approaching the crossing, they speed up.
Right.
That's not safe. Pedestrians also have rights on the road. When you look at the cyclists, if the cyclists put their hand out and they're trying to move to the right, drivers speed around them. So we want to highlight, make walking and cycling safe. But also, we have our Touch Every Island campaign going on, starting this month with the pedestrians, with the cyclists. It's a 12-month campaign. So we're not just having 1 week, because we had a conversation in our first meeting after elections. We talk about the drivers and how they're not driving the way they should. So how can we make it better? The association has to make a move. People don't know about us. We have a responsibility too to road users. And so we were partnering, we intend to partner with Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Transport, hopefully road traffic. We want to have a representative on every major island.
Wow.
We're not just promoting the association, promoting safety. Safe road users, safe drivers.
People come to you, obviously, when they want to get their license. They have to come and do the driving test and driving lessons. Are the instructions standardized over the various companies that provide driving lessons and get people prepared to get their license?
Well, the procedure for obtaining a license is first you have to take a theory test. And once you are successful with that, you get your learner's permit on the spot. At that time, you are entitled to send an email in, and they send you back a response to let you know that this is the date that you come in and you take the road with an examiner. Once you're successful, you get your driver's license. What we would like to do as the association is to see there be some minimum standards as far as your competency on the road prior, that space between obtaining your learner's permit and actually taking the test. That's a public safety issue because we want to make sure that the examiner is safe, that other road users are safe, and also the student behind the wheel is safe. The Driving School Association has been instrumental in causing there to be a use of driving school vehicles to do the driving test. That's something that we worked for. The condition of the fort that is being used by the Road Traffic Department to administer the parallel parking and the reversing, that was under the auspices of our association. So the association has been doing a tremendous amount of work behind the scenes. It's a labor of love. So we want to continue the partnership with stakeholders in our installation of our executive teams. Just recently, the Prime Minister, the Minister of Transport, the Minister of Education, all of them, they encouraged us to continue expanding our role in the community. Yesterday, we were on a program, and the passion that the callers were using when they called in, talking about the way the bus drivers allow students to exit in front of the bus. So we realized that the nation is ready for TBDSA, our initiatives. We just want to help.
So what are some of the things you want people to know about this association? I know we have about 2 minutes left. I want to be able to get in. What are some of the key facts you want people to know about on the road and about your association?
Well, first of all, our president is Herman Cleophas Maycock. 46 years in the profession, right, yes. Secondly, coming up June 20, we'll be having the Legends Award, honoring our visionaries, our pioneers, Preston C. Hanna, the mentor, Prince Edward Grant, the visionary, the standard bearer, Reuben Hamilton. So we want the public to know that the Bahamas Driving School Association is here. We are here for you. It took us a long time to make ourselves more public because people are telling us they're not aware of us.
Right, right.
But we have been here from the 1960s.
Wow.
Yes. And with our 12-month safety campaign, you will feel us, you will see us, and we're going to get better drivers from this.
I totally believe that. Nathaniel, I'll give you the final word.
Well, the Driving School Association has put more safe drivers on the road of the Bahamas than any other institution.
Wow.
We are also the Bahamas' only driving school association, and our representation is 99% of all driving schools. So we just want the Bahamas to know that we are here, we are a stakeholder, we're here to support, we're here to help, and we're here to educate.
Sounds good. You guys look good, too. I'll tell you that for sure.
Thank you very
much. Listen, we appreciate you coming to the show. It has been indeed a pleasure having you guys. And I'm glad I didn't know about the association. I see we have, who's this coming in?
The president.
Oh, this is the president here. You were talking with the president. Welcome, Mr. President.
Good evening.
And it's good to have you here at the association. A lot more people need to know about it. And I hope y'all give me one of them, but I like them butts y'all got there. I come to be road safety. All right. Okay, well, thank you.
This here is our installation service. It's a booklet that you can go through.
Thank you.
And this is the button for the global.
All right. Well, I put my little button on right now. Congratulations to you guys. And I support for having a safer road. All of us got to be on the road. So we need safe people on the road.
Yes, sir.
And congratulations to you, and we wish you all the best. Thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you
That does it for the rundown for us tonight. We want to correct a programming notes. We want to remind you, we told you about last night. The rundown will be airing live on the ZNS network at 8 o'clock tomorrow night from the Small Business Development Center Access Accelerators Town Meeting in Exuma. So we come live tomorrow from Exuma. Then on Thursday, the rundown will air live at 8 p.m. from Grand Bahama. So Exuma tomorrow night, and then Grand Bahama on Thursday night for the historic signing of the heads of agreement for the redevelopment of the Grand Lucania Resort. The rundown leadership will return next week, Thursday, May 22nd at 8 p.m. All right, and remember to stay locked on the ZNS network for the Bahamas tonight at 11. It's a final newscast in the country with the latest information with Royston Jones. I see he's somewhere in the building getting ready for 11 o'clock news, somewhere around here getting ready for 11 o'clock. So join him at 11 tonight. For all of us here at ZNS, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night, everyone.
At Fort Montague, I'm Opal Roach. This is ZNS.